Fuck you, Netanyahu. Fuck all of your miserable craziness will stop you. Fuck you from the top view and fuck you from behind. Fuck all of that chosen bullshit and fuck you every time.
Oh, you didn't know? Yo ass better.
So we got a new one. I guess I should introduce the new one, Foist, right? Foist. This is called Lie Big, Big Lie Cards.
How many of you have heard of Lie Big cards? If you haven't yet, you're welcome. The Tartaria narrative is so bizarre, marking the spot like Malcolm. We buy so much stupid, they seldom tell us the real truth about anything. Like the actual purpose of Bell's one tell is how they keep on mentioning that the only things worth remembering are the files they've carefully crafted.
What the fuck? What just happened? Well, that was weird. Guess we're gonna have to start over. Oh well, I don't mind. I don't mind. It sounds good. Karen, what's going on? We got the new song to play, and then we're going deep today. We're definitely going deep today. Sort of like my specialty.
How many of you have heard
Big
of
old
Lie
piece
Big
of weed
cards?
sitting on my
If you
lap.
haven't yet,
That's fun.
you're welcome. The Tartaria narrative is so bizarre, marking the spot like Malcolm. We buy so much stupid they seldom tell us the real truth about anything. Like the actual purpose of Bell's one tell is how they keep on mentioning that the only things worth remembering are the files they've carefully crafted. Chewing the fat that they're rendering, using the school books and the passages to turn us all into Goyim masochists who believe in devilish fairy tales. If they can make us into insecure savages, we won't see how we're clearly
I
in
stretched
jail.
out all of the lyrics, so each line is much longer than it would be.
If you're gonna lie big. A big lie's been supplied to the kids. From the old London Bridge to the three little kids. The truth lies in the lines of the grid. Lies in the lines of the grid. Lies in the lines of the grid. The truth lies in the lines of the grid. Lies in the lines of the grid.
I would love to have been a fly on the wall at the meeting where the executives at Lie Big decided that regardless of the cost to those who hate reading, their best bet was for them to supply kids with subliminal messages given as prizes. Beautiful pictures of what would be hidden. Decadent visions before their disguises use scriptures to ensure that we're smitten with the narrative we're not in prison, yet information withheld was the key. Its imperative solutions are seen as forbidden that way when they tell us we're free. We thank them for dispelling the need to see evidence that's just undeniable. The lie's only as big as their planted seed, were as free as their truth is reliable.
Look at all that shit. That's normal natural cloud formation.
If you're gonna lie big.
Going in opposite
A big
directions.
lie's been supplied to the kids. From the old London Bridge to the three little kids. The truth lies in the lines of the grid. Lies in the lines of the grid. Lies in the lines of the grid. The truth lies in the lines of the grid. Lies in the lines of the grid.
The Lie Big company's cards are the
Lie
windows
Big.
into a past that's the last glass left half full. They show us a world only seen through pinholes,
junkie
unmasking
pedos
the
here.
rapping, distracting the bull that's actually acting on trapping the pull, sucking in suckers who suck the well dry, cracking the crafting that's as crass as the wool the friars conspire to use the blind eyes. Wired to desire their tired compromise, we fight the light despite being in darkness. Their cards are a part of our martyrs' lives. They brighten through spite and regardless of the flight or flight respite that's part of this stance of the brand planning policy. If we hate what they make and break through the harness, we'll destroy all their ploys through our honesty.
Boy, bang.
Lie
Boy, bang.
big lie's been supplied to the kids. From the old London Bridge to the three little kids. The truth lies in the lines of the grid. 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 Lies in the grid.
Starting in the mid-1800s, the Liebig Mint Extract Company spent money putting picture cards into their products to show us what are now long-forgotten wonders of the world of construction.
It don't make no
Call
sense.
it Tartaria, or just the old world. We are being lied to about everything in our history, and eBay, of all places, is the best resource available to see it with your own
Look at
eyes.
this clown.
Just search Liebig cards
We have a
and see
clown
the
here
big lie
crying
for yourself.
because I have a
TBG,
driver.
baby.
That's the thing that you're gonna focus on. Anything with these feeds, right? The page where we talk about killing pedophiles and overthrowing these piece of shit friars. Yep, you're gonna be like, man, you have a driver. So when no, there's a driver, dumbass. It's not me. I have a driver. And my driver doesn't like to be shown on camera. So what am I supposed to do? Definitely couldn't care less about you. So we'll start with sleight of hand job, since that's what's going on today, right?
Young DBG, we love us the bubbles and it's easy to see. By all of the trouble that continuously continues to double when the conspiracy is exposed to the muggles. They tighten the muzzle when we think we are free to shave off the stubble of the beard we perceive. Coddles and cuddles, shit we believe saves from the struggle, yet it clearly deceives. It's a sleight of hand job. It's a circle full of jerks, Trump's polishing the knob. And then, yeah, we reverse the Israelis are a mob, but the Americans are racist. We don't see we're being robbed. The illusion only works if the heart on our shirt is bleeding profusely, starting at birth. They're constantly using our pride and our worth to hide how they're abusing their lives only work. Since the truth is a movie.
It's so hard to like keep coming up with new shit. Tell you, man, like the ideas aren't there, but I just coming up with variety, you know, trying to make it so they don't all sound the same, so they're not all it's difficult.
Do everything in heaven when the hell that they command. That's all part of the plan to further genocide. Once you understand,
I contacted YouTube and the FBI, says the junkie pedophile. Did you tell on yourself for raping children, you fucking weirdo? For dealing in child exploitation imagery? Did you tell on yourself or no? Probably not.
It's a sleight of hand job. It's a circle full of jerks, Trump's polishing the knob. And then, yeah, we reverse the Israelis are a mob, but the Americans are racist. We don't see we're being robbed. The illusion only works if the heart on our shirt is bleeding profusely, starting at birth. They're constantly using our pride and our worth to hide how they're abusing their lives only work. Since the truth is a movie. Truth is a movie. Truth is a movie. Their lives only work. Since the truth is a movie.
What's up, Algo?
Truth is a movie. Truth is a movie. Their lives only
And
work.
writer's block is a very real thing. It happens. For me, like whenever I get in those moods where nothing's coming out, I just embrace
So the
it.
chosen will attack.
I just shouldn't be writing, but that doesn't usually happen. If I need to, I can write about anything anytime. I might not like it as much, but it still can be there.
To make it all seem boring like a calm before the storm, and leading us to morning, their cheers become the norm. Agent Orange is out there facilitating the next false flag attack. When Syria or Lebanon or Saudi Arabia or Yemen or whatever breaks the truce by attacking something United States and unfortunately supposedly killing American soldiers, which then inspires you to tie yellow.
We're going to talk about KOSHER today, guys. We're going to really blow that whole thing open. I'm telling you, I think we stumbled onto something. But, you know, it's always good to listen to some tunes before we get started.
Reaping the rewards.
While we can with the good sound, let's listen with the good sound.
Itmar Ben-Gvir and the rest of those psychopaths who control the United States there. It's time for the revolution. TBG.
Junkie Pedo, he's a big fan. He hides his identity because he's a coward, but he's a big fan of mine. Junkie pedophile, you disgusting.
This is a song that there's a lot of Christmas songs out there, and not too many Hanukkah songs. So I rewrote a
song for all those Jewish kids who don't get to hear any Hanukkah songs. Here we go. If you wear a yarmulke and you celebrate Hanukkah, what could be the funukkah of celebrating Hanukkah? Hanukkah is a celebration of circumcision. The Maccabee Revolution was one awful decision. When you start to notice that they all seem to be kosher members, here's a list of people who are Jewish that are ritual sex offenders.
Oh, we're in the kitchen, just as you were here. Nice.
Clearly done the trumpet lights the menorah. That's why he's so with your meditations in diaspora. Guess who ate blood libel as her son pulled off the car? A dirty rat like Fievel, no one less than Hitler's mom. Biden doesn't have to be Jewish, be a Zionist. Just like Hillary Clinton, they're both on the APAC list. You don't need to look too hard to find the snake that's in the grass. Netanyahu, Bezalel Smotrich, and Ben Gvir can kiss my ass. All terrorists. Guy Williams, not a Jew. But guess who is? Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Maxwell, number 2. Fake deaths. 85% of Congress is under Israel's control, which is why they're never honest when it's time to pay the toll. Some people think that it's a slur and we should cower to say 0.183% has all the money and the power. There are so many Jews controlling Hollywood, so it's no wonder actors say that all that fame's not really good. Everyone and their mamas know they're who's dropped yarmulkes. They should send up yarmulkes like Moyles and Brit Malonica. Please don't drink gin and tonica, but smoke that marijuana. You really should wanna to happily obliterate Hanukkah.
That was such a fun song. Man, it's the worst music I ever heard. Then you should stop listening. You should stop listening.
Why was the
This stuff's too smart for you.
Immediately that
For
he
sure
was
too smart
killed
for
for
you.
free speech and Christian values? How did we all just know that before we had any details? Let's stop falling for Charlie Kirk. It's just another operation. White people are now going berserk against those who are not complicit in the left and right invasion, and the propaganda shown that this sanitation, the sickness that we've known, has exponentially grown. And really, how could it not? Their cover has been blown since we were forced to take the shot. And Charlie Kirk was a plot device to move things forward. But what was that black spot when his collar seemed to move towards his jugular?
You can't really come up with anything, can
gang
you?
violence were clearly muttered.
You're just
Charlie
a dumbass.
was just a slow turd.
Just a
and the
dumbass
ass
little
is
kitty
nothing
kitty,
other
right,
than
little
what
pussy?
His Mossad brothers
Right, pussy,
continue to call their
Come
home.
on, pussy.
Israeli gravy smothers the Gaza rice that's all been cloned, since there's only sticks and stones to fight the genocidal bombs. It's time to break the chosen bones and call the Charlie Show the con that it isn't, since the bond with our oppressor is unbreakable. We need to see what's going on, and that our food's what keeps their table full. I just want to Kirk all of our enemies in blue and white with Ben Shapiro energy. The only thing that works is when we Kirk the jerks and be the Goyim pride that we are meant to be. So back to Charlie's shirt and whatever that thing was. Shouldn't we be more alert and call out what our system does? Whenever there's not enough love for the blood that Israel spills, they produce a biblical flood or put a slug in one of their shills. which means Charlie wasn't killed by some Goyim with a gun. And the wall we need to build will only ever be done when the Goyim are as one. No silly sun gods being worshipped. This story being spun is just the web of lies we're cursed with. Every action has a purpose, every story an agenda. They need you feeling nervous, that way you're willing to pretend the thing in Charlie's shirt was Splenda, and the truth is sugar sweet. But it's never bad to end a narrative we should defeat. Our freedom of speech should be speaking its mind, and saying Charlie can eat a bag of dicks from behind crosses no lines. He claimed Israel's blessed, and if they are divine, well then so is his death. I just want to kirk all of our enemies in blue and white with Ben Shapiro energy. The only thing that works is when we kirk the jerks and be the Goyim pride that we are meant to be. The only way change happens is through kirking. The leaders who just laugh and are deserving of our violent Goyim wrath. It's so unnerving that the chosen choose the path and it's still working. So if Charlie turned on Israel, why didn't they seem to notice? Netanyahu has given full condolences, but know this: if anyone calls out the hopeless situation raging in Gaza, Israel's #1 focus becomes causing them so much drama they run home to their mama while begging for forgiveness. So if Charlie went all Obama, he would be sleeping with the fishes. And I know that he already is, but I didn't mean that literally. I meant the friar hugs and kisses and the constant APAC chivalry would end just like when Hillary won but lost the election. And then she seemingly willingly disappeared like Bill's erection whenever she's undressing, since she's no teen on Epstein Island. And just like Charlie's quest for blessings, true change starts and ends with violence. But did he really die when and where they say? And who were those two guys sending signals like the play was just another JFK to make the country miserable? Because at the end of every day, we're all Goyim slaves to Israel. I just want to kirk all of our enemies in blue and white with Ben Shapiro energy. The only thing that works is when we kirk the jerks and be the Goyim pride that we are meant to be.
I hate using words like jerks. It's too like...
Israel made Charlie Kirk, and Israel took him out. Their sacrifice only works when we are filled with doubt. And Israel's not about to kirk one of their own. We're supposed to scream and shout while feeling nothing but alone.
Beauty. Beauty, eh?
Pat Robertson's a charlatan, a liar, a monster. He's not even bargain bin, he's a cheap knockoff imposter. The bigotry he fosters is cleverly disguised by the ministry that offers less than compromise when demanding that you tithe, since God won't answer prayer. The salvation someone buys doesn't just come from thin air. The Bible says it like it's fair. Take the money from the poor. And Pat reminds me of his hair, hiding bald-faced lies galore. If you got the touch and some magical powers, why is it never enough to sweeten all that is sour? You're just a monster who sucks what you can't simply devour. And when we finally stand up, we'll see you bullies off power. Yeah! When Pat starts talking women and how they should know their place, his clear, honest opinions believing God and space. He loves to have his cake and eat it since it's free. He tells you he's awake and that the Goyim are asleep. He's such a dirty creep that he supports the genocide of the Palestinians beneath the Israeli apartheid. See, Pat's the type of guy that will tell you anything as long as you supply his pockets with cha-ching. If you got the touch and some magical powers, why is it never enough to sweeten all that is sour? You're just a monster who sucks what you can't simply devour. And when we finally stand up, we'll see you bullies on power. Yeah! The 700 Club's disgusting. Let's look at what they do. Begging those with nothing to buy their fake voodoo. The prayer line is food. That's how they feed the beast. You call and you boo-hoo, then you wait about a week. And surprise, surprise, they speak on the same thing that you prayed for. And since your mind's so weak, you call them back and pay more. But why does Pat have this favor to command miracles and such? When did Pat become the savior? How'd that asshole get the touch?
Look, we have somebody that says, God bless Israel. Hey, pedophile, right? The God bless Israel guy, obviously you're a pedophile. How does that work? How do you justify raping children?
To sweeten all that is sour.
It's fucking weird, right? Especially your own kids like that, right?
What you can't simply
That you would rape your own children like you guys do is just insane. Oh look, we have a Trump person here too. Gary the pedo. Gary the pedo's here. Hi Gary the pedo.
If anything said in this song is wrong, sue us. Actually, even better, bring me on TV.
Come on, Gary the pedo. Tell us why you support a pedophile. All the God bless Israel people they can't be like, I'm a proud pedophile. They can't do that. They might do the Mackenzie thing where they post a pizza slice in the Israel, and they're so stupid that they think that's somehow like a knock or something. They're letting you guys know exactly who they are, right? But they're not going to say like, oh, we're a proud pedo. They can't. So they say things like God bless Israel or Trump, which are like proxies. They're pseudonyms. They're a way to say things without actually saying it. And everybody that hears it knows exactly what they're saying. At this point, you support Trump, you clearly fuck with kids. If you support Israel, I mean, you're just the bottom of darkness. You're the worst. You're as bad as it fucking gets. So, I mean, I appreciate you guys being that stupid that you'll acknowledge it for me. I say it, but then you guys validate it with your shit.
So I was upset with Brian since we were supposed to be in Vax 2. But like how a wolf becomes a lion, perception can be misconstrued. So I was like, dude, because my feelings were hurt. It wasn't meant to be rude, but my heart's on my shirt. And unlike a jerk, he then opened my eyes to all of the work and the stress that's supplied when fighting the tide, as these heroes are doing. I wasn't denied. Their hands were full screwing those who keep proving they know more than they say. And since their budget was shoestring, seizing the day was all of the pay they had to invest. The roadblocks in their way were put there by the best of all of the rest.
Look at it. Look, you see how the Trump and Israel people don't actually have something to say, right? They're validating my point. They don't come through and be like, no, you're wrong, this. They just double down. They just repeat the, I'm a proud pedophile phrase. Tell me I'm wrong.
Don't get
stuck. Don't get stuck. Since when they pass the buck, then we're shit out of luck. If this is our only shot, then let's get to the point. They're killing us a lot. It's something they enjoy. The coronavirus is the plot, confusing all the goy. As the vaccines cause our brains to rot, they take away our choice. Let me ask this question. What can you get for free? If you stop in your local delicatessen, how much would you eat? If you told them something sweet, but you don't have no money, would they answer, where's the beef? Or would they say, that's not that funny? See, if your nose is kind of runny and you're pining for a shot, you're the kind of sheepish dummy demonizing pot. You're the teacher teaching God when it never should be used. You're like a preacher preaching rock, refusing simple clues. Most would call the proof the conspiracies allowed. How dare you say those seeking truth are those who spread the lies?
We've all been compromised. Oh, look, the pedo neighbor's gone. He must be out doing pedo shit. Ugh. Hi, big dumb dog. Hello, big dumb dog. And the only shot. Then let's get to the point. All right. So, oh, look, we've been shut all the way down to one viewer. Went from 14 viewers to one viewer in less than a minute. Boy, that's amazingly coincidental. And I'm sure it has nothing to do with anything. It's just the way it works. Now I have 4 viewers, 4 likes. Yeah, it totally makes sense. So, let's get to talking about kosher, right? Because I don't think people understand what kosher means. And I told my wife, like, we need to go kosher. I unfortunately,
not eat anymore meat.
right, unfortunately, we have, the weakness has broken us, and we've eaten meat for the past, 3 months, or 4 months, or 5 months, I don't know when.
I haven't eaten as much. I'm trying not to, but
It's just so difficult, especially when you're raised a certain way. Like my wife was sitting there just eating salami yesterday. And it's like, you can't replace that. There's nothing that's going to replace that for you as something to eat. But the numbers don't count. Oh yeah, well no, I mean, obviously, how many times have people been here and seen it say one person watching and 5 people are commenting? It's just the way it works. They're just fucking around. They're doing everything they can to, try their best. I mean, look, the guy just heard me say salami, so now he makes a joke. When I called him a pedophile, he didn't say anything. Clearly, he can hear what's going on, and he's responding to the things that matter. So, when outing him as a pedophile, he had nothing to say. That should tell you something.
Don't get stuck. Don't.
But this kosher thing is such a bigger thing than people realize. My whole life, I knew kosher. I knew what it was. My wife, same thing. We thought it was, it's just a blessing. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting in that, getting to level 2, where you realize that kosher means they're cleaning all the Goyim off of their shit. So when it's kosher this or a kosher meal or kosher, that means Goyim don't touch it. But then there's kosher slaughter, which is, to me, the most inhumane thing I can think of. You know, they hang the fucking cow up by its hooves, hang it upside down, and then slit its throat from ear to ear so it can bleed out slowly. Right?
But I asked because I've danced and someone called
My
unsuccessful.
question is, why go to all the trouble to make sure it's all cancer-free and disease-free to traumatize it at death and ruin the meat anyway?
Because that's not what you do. See, you want to get in there and show like you're a know-it-all, but you're getting it too ahead of yourself because you're screwing yourself up there. They can't possibly know the meat's fucked up until they slaughter it. So what they do is they slaughter, they'll have a few cows set aside or a few this or that set aside. And if they slaughter it and they find out that it doesn't meet their specifications, they don't eat it. They kill a different one. But like I say, like most of us think, like I thought I was the expert. Like I thought, you know, I was opening people's eyes to kosher slaughter and the horrors of it and all that. I had no idea.
Of course they're only going to keep the cream of the crop. Why wouldn't they?
Because I mean, obviously, but you don't think about it. You don't ever think about that shit. That's not something you've ever given thought to. You've never given thought to the fact that especially when it comes to hamburger, any kind of burger or sausage or anything where it's ground up. Do you think they pull all the tumors out before they grind it up into the meat? No, is the answer. No, they don't.
Definitely not for Walmart meat, but for the royalty and shit like that.
Well, yeah, for the best of the best, sure, but they probably eat kosher. We just don't know it.
I wouldn't want my animals slaughtered like that. I'm sorry, I don't want that.
Yeah, but that's like the herpes being the reason why you shouldn't do metzitzia buffet because you can't because the herpes cases are so small. You're seeing it from one perspective. The kosher thing is, yes, the kosher slaughter is a thing and the kosher blessing is a thing. But the much more important aspect is the checking of the meat for what they call blemishes. And if they find blemishes, which are tumors, which are cancerous tumors and whatnot in the meat, then they feed it to us. And that is huge. I think that's a lot bigger. Like when people talk about goy slop, and especially we talk about the burgers, and Rabbi Finkelstein told us what McDonald's was and how they after the bloodletting rituals, they then throw the bodies in with the hamburger. I'm back via fucking Facebook this time. I'm back for a second, twice. Right. You know they're gonna kick you out. That's all it is. Right? And then look at this shit. Look at these cowards just talking all this shit, right? Israel had the right to defend itself. Look at this shit. How does Israel have the right to defend itself? No one's ever attacked Israel. October 7th was a false flag operation. No Israelis died or were taken hostage. But it's like anybody that says Israel has the right to defend themselves, well, does everybody else have the right to defend themselves? Does everybody have a right to defend themselves from Israel, or does that only go one way with you? And it's like, again, when you say shit like that, you're proving that I'm just a robot. I don't think for myself. Israel has the right to defend itself. It doesn't even make sense, especially in the context of what we're talking about. How does Israel have a right to defend itself when it's the ones causing all the problems? Israel causes all of the fucking problems. Fuck everything. And then again, the biggest thing here is like people need to understand that Israel doesn't actually exist. Israel is nothing. Israel could be great if if you were just saying the land that has been identified and called this thing. Because Israel doesn't actually think.
Oh, you gotta see that.
Israel doesn't actually vote or do, or Israel is a construct. It's they tell us Israel exists and we accept that Israel exists. What? But like they say, everything that they do, well, this happens all over the world, not just in Israel. Well, yeah, because you guys are everywhere. It's the
We'd be better off if there were no Israel. Okay. Because it's not in America's interest to have Israel behave the way it does. Osama bin Laden said that the principal reason he attacked us on 9/11 was because of our support for Israel against the Palestinians. Furthermore, why do we have terrible relations with Iran? Because of Israel. Iran has tried on numerous occasions to improve its relations.
Look at the dumbass says it's in the Bible. Oh, right. Isn't it funny how the Jews always go back to the Bible that they don't actually believe in? But it's you. You're a Goyim. So as a Goyim, you're supposed to believe in the Bible. You're supposed to believe in the Jewish fairy tale that is the Bible and the Jewish Jesus and all that. Yeah. Fuck your stupid Bible and fuck you, you pedophile piece of shit.
With the United States in the mid-1990s. It was Bill Clinton who was president at the time, and the Israelis moved in and put the kibosh on it. And then the Israelis are back to bombing Lebanon. Hezbollah said it's going to rearm. Syria's a mess. Iran, the Israelis are talking about going back to try and take us with them. You had a genocide in Gaza. There's a pause now, but the Israelis are still cleansing the West Bank. If the United States was using Israel for its own selfish interests, why do you need a lobby? You only need a lobby because it's not in America's interest to have Israel behave the way it does. AIPAC, which is remarkably powerful, works hand in hand with the Israeli government, making or pulling in enough money. AIPAC will go to...
Look at this Jew losing his fucking mind. Ah, what are you saying this for?
The media, influence academia. That's so powerful. Yeah, virtually all the senators and all the Congress people support Israel, hook, line, and sinker, because many of them take money from the lobby. And the Israeli government and the lobby together get the United States to do whatever they want. We support Israel unconditionally, no matter what. Would you have wanted to have good relations with Nazi Germany? This is a country that's committing a genocide. Every major human rights group in the world, including B'Tselem, which is the leading human rights group in Israel, has looked at what the Israelis have done and has concluded it's a genocide. The United Nations set up a special commission to study it, and they came to the conclusion this is a genocide. It's just tons of evidence.
I mean, anybody that says it's not is just a lying. It was done. Anybody that says it's not is just a dumbass. I mean, you're just a. I mean, I don't even know. Like, you're a dumbass. You're a liar. You literally have U.S. government officials justifying Iran because they say, well, Iran has killed over 30,000 of its people. That's a genocide. However you slice it, 30,000 people is a genocide. Dude literally said that. But then he also supports Israel because, kill people, it's a whole different story. I mean, it's so stupid. Like, that's the thing about all of this, is it's not like, well, forgiven for falling for this, because they had 3 fucking TV channels. They had no way of knowing anything other than what the system wanted them to know. But we're on a different level. By the way, if you're watching, like, share, and sub. Show these fucking pieces of shit that you don't comply. You don't comply. That's what it comes down to. This is us saying we don't comply. Because it's not going to matter. The more likes my feed gets, the less views I get. I don't know how that works. Because that's how the algorithm works, right? You do live feeds. You make contact, so to try to keep yourself from getting likes, because likes mean your content gets stifled, right? That's how that works. But this kosher thing is a much bigger deal than you know. I mean, I've done a lot in the last couple months. I mean, actually, it goes back to the Grok video and all that shit. Like, I've really done a lot of stuff to expose a lot of shit that your average truther, your Ian Carroll and whatnot, either aren't talking about at the time, but will, or they're just not at all, right? But this kosher thing is huge. People need to understand that.
So destructive. It's so obvious. There's a Wikipedia page about it.
We have 9 viewers, 9 likes, and have the comments been shut off? Can't tell. All right. I feel like the comments might be shut off. 7 likes, or 7 watchers, 10 likes. Because that makes sense, right? Now 6, right? The more likes I get, the less views I get. Because that's how shit works, right, guys? And kosher. We're looking up the kosher. It's actually kashrut. But kosher essentially means clean, guys. If you're feeding your children food, you should probably feed them kosher food. And that doesn't just mean meat. That also means like, why do you think we all believe that Jewish food, kosher food, tastes worse? Most of us haven't had it, but we've just heard it so many times that it's bland and gross and yada yada. Well, maybe it doesn't have all the chemicals in it that usually trick our minds into thinking things taste good. But I highly encourage everyone to start eating kosher food. Literally only eating kosher food. No, that's lovely, crispy food.
Let me ask you this. If I had gotten busted selling and
Obviously, you shouldn't eat meat at all. It's disgusting, and I hate myself for doing it.
I got no jail time, would you? Would you really? I doubt it.
But I really do think there's a huge difference in what we get and what they get. I mean, are the hospitals full of elderly Jewish people with the same sort of ailments that we have? I can say I've been to a few hospitals before. I've never seen any penguins walking around. Now, I'm sure they go to their own special hospital and all, but...
They're at the White House meeting with Trump about Greenland.
Quiz.
The penguins.
Yep. Yep. You thought the Greenland story was just going to go away because Trump didn't get what he wanted right away? Come on. They've invested too much into it already. They've been selling off shit. They've been, it's fucking crazy. It's crazy. In prison, even they get to ask for special kosher meals. Right. They also get special, if they get sent to prison. So I saw this. I can't remember what the documentary was, but there was actually one Jewish guy in the prison, and he talked about how he used his Judaism as like a way around things. Because he could claim Judaism, he got to be separated, he got more freedom. Of course, he gets the kosher meals. We really need to start looking into this kosher thing. It's so fucking crazy. All separately and separately prepared. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Alright, so kashrut is a set of dietary laws dealing with foods that Jewish people are permitted to eat and how those foods must be prepared according to Jewish religious law.
I'm sorry, dude, just chill.
Iran is striking Abu Dhabi.
Not the biggest geyser,
I,
but there are
yeah.
many.
I don't believe it. Sorry, I don't believe that Iran is striking everyone but Israel right now. Or anyone else but Israel. Like, I guess they have sent a few strikes in, which also proved to you that the Iron Dome is bullshit.
How do you know this isn't coming from Israel?
That's my point. Yeah. The fact that they say Iran is striking this and Iran is striking that.
Hey, but you're still a clown shoe. Yay, there's a song about you. Hooray, but you're still a clown shoe. Yay, there's a song about you. Hooray, but you're still a clown shoe. Yay, now there's a song about you. Hooray, too bad you're still a clown shoe.
No, this is why you guys believe in an Iron Dome. You guys believe in an Iron Dome because Israel spent years shooting rockets into their own airspace into agreed upon coordinates so they could shoot them down and then spread the footage and say, look it, we have an Iron Dome.
Saudi Arabia just announced that nobody is allowed to enter their airspace or their land to attack Iran.
Good. I've been waiting for Saudi Arabia to get into this fucking fight for a long time.
Saudi respects Iran's sovereignty.
Hey, let me ask y'all this.
Makes you wonder how long it's going to be before all of these Muslim countries unify and eliminate the threat.
Well, Abu Dhabi isn't in Saudi, it's in the United Arab Emirates.
I know.
So.
I know. Yeah. Abu Dhabi is its own place.
And then, Dubai supposedly too.
We're nothing without you.
Right? It just makes no sense. Why? Why would... So, Israel and the United States keep attacking Iran. So, Iran is attacking Saudi Arabia and... Or Dubai and Bahrain and all these other places. Why? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, look. The Rabbi Finkelstein character is here. You know, this is super important, guys. You can't just jump to level fucking 9. You can't jump to level 9 when you're only level 3. You're not going to be powerful enough to do it. You're going to get fucking all discombobulated and thrown in all sorts of directions because you know, when you first figure out that shit's fucked up, you're more susceptible. You're more at risk than at any other time. I just had to set you up on the screen in my living room as you've been on the phone in the kitchen. Wild. You're lagging really badly on the phone, the initial device I was listening on. I mean, really, what else makes sense? You know, for a while, I guess you could say, you know, well, I'm just saying things that are inappropriate or whatever. But if you've been here for years, which most of you have at this point, you've seen me be nothing but right. I told you guys. I've been fucking begging you guys to unify to stop this shit. Ouch. Why do you think that the news isn't talking about ICE left and right anymore? While you're fucking... While everything's distracted by Iran, ICE is moving into all of your neighborhoods. All of the neighborhoods. And it literally just came out that ICE agents are actually IDF agents. That's why they're so fucking concerned with keeping their goddamn masks on. Right? You see it every single time. Every single time you see a video with ICE, what are they most concerned with? They're not concerned with being filmed committing crime. They don't seem to care. The only thing they seem to care about is maintaining that face covering of theirs. By the way, if you're watching, like, share, and sub. Help the fuck out. You know, if you know anybody else that's saying shit better than me, then tell me who they are and we'll watch them. But until that point, man, until you got other people telling you to, it's okay for you to hate that cult. It's okay for you to hate. It's a cult. It's okay that you hate it. Why are you so obsessed with the Israelis? Gee, I don't know. It has nothing to do with the genocide or the incredible amounts of pedophilia that are just everywhere. Like my biggest thing right now is that we need to save the Jewish children. First and foremost, I am the voice. I am the rally cry that we need to save the Jewish children over everyone else. Iran's totally a brilliant group back faster than Trump's ear. No, it didn't. Trump's ear grew back incredibly fast.
Kanye only buried black people when he was naming names. Were actually outed as evil. They were simply irritated. Kanye's only flame paints them as in charge. It's amazing such a tiny flame can burn a Holocaust why so large. But the captains of
Aren't you obsessed with the people who get the vast majority of your tax dollars? We literally have homeless cities all throughout the United States, like cities, tent cities where Americans who, you know, they had something. They're not like, oh, I'm just a hippie and I don't want to work kind of situation. They had some tragic thing happen to them. Some bullshit happened. And they you know, like it's and we're giving all this money to this foreign fucking country. You know, it's crazy too. You know, this Lakewood story, this New Jersey story, right? Everybody's talking about this Lakewood story, and they should be. It's huge. I take issue with some of the video that I saw. Like, to me, I can understand why that video is allowed to have the views it does. Because there are a couple of goy slop fucking ideals pushed in that video, and you just don't realize it. One of the most important things is that anti-Semitism is still allowed to be used as sort of like a burn or a knock or like a, you know, it's a negative. Anti-Semitism is seen as a negative when it's absolutely not. Everybody should be extremely proud of their anti-Semitism, right? And watch, you won't see a single Jew try to interfere, engage in this. Well, not trying to, but try to engage in this conversation and debunk what I'm saying. They'll tell me not to say it, but they're gonna, you know, it'll just be dumb shit. There's definitely a delay on this link. Been booted 4 or 5 times on the phone already. Yep, you're a full sentence ahead of yourself whilst traveling through TV, aerial, Fire Stick, YouTube, then here. And what surprise is that, right? There's no surprise here. Look, I'm talking about the most controversial things in the world. I'm going against the grain in the one place where we are supposed to go with the grain. And yet, there is no opposition. It's just shit talk. Why? Somebody tell me what I'm actually wrong about. Again, going back to this Lakewood story. Surprisingly, I seem to be the only one that knows about Naomi Elkins. And crazy enough, Naomi Elkins is from Lakewood. Like I said, there's some weird shit in the movie that sort of, controlled opposition. They have to put this shit out. There are far too many of us asking these questions and talking about these things. And what the video essentially ends up doing is almost being like a flex. You know? It's strange how it's just showing us what's happening. It literally Lakewood is Palestine. They've just taken it over and they're spreading like the cancer they are. And there's nothing they can look at. Look at this metzitzia pedo can't say shit to me. He's just gonna come up with dumb shit. Just verifying for the shit terriers and rabbi and random. Karen got booted again. Why does Karen keep getting booted off the feed, but none of these fucking pedophile friars do? Guys, tell me what I'm wrong about. Let's go back to this. Because this is something they just don't want us talking about. Food that may be consumed is deemed kosher. In Yiddish, or in English, and in, wait, what is this? From the Ashkenazi pronunciation of the term that in Sephardi or modern Hebrew is pronounced kasher, meaning fit. It is fit for consumption. That's what fucking kosher means. It's fit for consumption. Look, again, like, if anybody knows a rabbi or you know some friar or something like that, text them and tell them to come here. Tell them to come to this feed and explain to me what I'm getting wrong about this. I'd love to have some actual intelligent opposition. I know it's impossible, especially when we're talking about inbred friars. But I'm willing to be wrong. Since that boot off, you have just completely synced on my devices now. That's weird. Almost like you called it out and they were like, oh shit, she caught on. Oh look, Pedo Joey's here. Pedo Joey, who's a proud Israeli in Israel right now, in Palestine right now. Proudly, committing genocide, living off genocide, defending child rape. He's a real piece of shit. So let's see what he has to say about this part. I bet he knows nothing. I bet he literally knows nothing about any of this. Food that may not be consumed is deemed treif, also spelled treif. In case of objects that, in case of objects, the opposite of kosher. In case of objects or objects, the opposite of kosher is pasul. In case of, I don't know, somebody's stupid. This has obviously been fucking edited by some piece of shit friar. They don't understand English. Like, you see them, the ones that are like from these Curious Joel and Lakewood that are from these neighborhoods. I wonder when they're going to change the name, from Lakewood to something more friar. Because you know it wasn't Curious Joel initially. Interesting. Pretty sure Jesus didn't pull cones and drink a goo bag and drink a goon bag. But blame, what the fuck is this dumb ass friar talking about? Like, again, this is, what do you expect from inbreds? Like, that's what I was saying. They're from the United States and they can't even speak English. And actually, going back again, sorry, I forgot. You guys got to go back to Naomi Elkins. It's about a year ago, right? It must have been, I wonder if it was the Purim, or whatever the fuck this holiday that happened to start on Monday. What was it again? Purim? What was the Jewish holiday that started on Monday?
Passover.
No, it's Purim. Purim. Passover's later. Passover's at Easter. And Passover is their biggest bloodshed. So it's surprising that they didn't wait till Passover for this, but you know, maybe they have even worse plans set for Passover. These are psychopaths, you guys. These are psychopaths. I want to follow Jesus, but then a healthy dose of skepticism has lured me in, and funny, I've come to the conclusion of slave societies. What is this even about? You just mad you're unhealthy because you eat McDonald's? Yep, that's what I said. I was like, man, all that McDonald's I eat, right? Look at this dumb friar. Look, I love watching them. They look like turtles on their back, right? They can't actually say anything. So he'll just keep saying, and he's so fucking arrogant because, you know, he's a friar. He's so arrogant that he can't just walk away. He feels like people need to hear what he has to say. And so he just keeps saying fucking gold. Fucking gold. He proves it time and time again. Watch, he'll say something else. Don't worry, he'll say something else that like only dumb friars say. Although the details of the laws of kashrut are numerous and complex, they rest on a few basic principles. 1. Only certain types of mammals, birds, and fish, meeting specific criteria are kosher. The consumption of flesh of any animals that do not meet these criteria, such as pork, frogs, and shellfish, is forbidden, except for locusts, which are the only kosher invertebrate. They eat bugs? I had no idea friars liked eating fucking locusts. That's disgusting. Number 2, the most basic eating rule in the Torah is that blood is not to be consumed. Therefore, as a step to being kosher, mammals and birds must be slaughtered according to a process known as shechita, I don't know. Shitta. We'll just call it shitta. In which a certified ritual slaughterer called a shochet, I don't know what the fuck, a shit, severs the trachea, esophagus, carotid arteries, and the jugular vein in a single quick cut using an ultra-sharp instrument called a chalaf. Doing so causes rapid and massive blood loss. So that makes it more humane because they bleed super fast. They like to say that, I mean, it's fucked up as it is. You know, like with cows, where cows get slaughtered, they get put on this conveyor belt, they get moved into this little pen where this machine puts this high pressure screw right on the back of their head and pops it, and it kills them instantly. And then it, you know, moves them along. You really wouldn't want to eat meat if you saw the process. But it's instant death. Slitting the animal's throat and then it bleeding out is not instant death. It's not nice. It's not humane. You know, I would love to see, like, if we started rounding up friar pedophiles, and not just low-level friar pedophiles. I mean, like, the big-time friar pedophiles. And we were like, all right, the way we're going to kill you is the most humane way. We're going to slit your throat from ear to ear and then watch you bleed out. Do you think people would be okay with that? You think they'd be like, oh, that's clearly the most humane way to do things?
You need to take responsibility for said vagina. Because, like I just said,
Look at how the dumb pedos keep saying, well, what's your point? Well, what's your point? Well, what's your point? I think my point is pretty obvious. I think I've made lots of points. It doesn't seem to matter what point I make because you just ignore it and avoid it anyway, right, coward? Number 3, the meat must still go through a process known as koshering or kashering to be considered fit for consumption. The 3 approved methods are broiling, roasting, and soaking and salting. Soaking and salting? Number 4, meat and meat derivatives may never be mixed with milk and milk derivatives. Separate equipment must be used for the storage and preparation of meat-based and dairy-based food. So you can't, like, put fucking cheese on your red sauce? If you have spaghetti, a meat sauce, you can't put any Parmesan on that shit? And the thing is, like, who decided these dumbass fucking rules? They're all rabbinical. They're not actually in the Talmud. None of these eating dietary restrictions and shit, none of this shit is in the Talmud, which is their main book. Supposedly these things all came to be just like the whole metzitzia buffet aspect of things. It came to be throughout the years because random rabbis just sort of decided that this was going to be the way to do things. Look at the goddamn friars on here. Look at the things they're saying. They just have no, like, there's no, this is what happens when you pull children out of school at 8 years old and send them to fucking Hebrew school. And all they learn is, you know, one school of thought. They're only around boys or only around girls. And you know, they don't learn anything else. This is the stupidity that comes from it. Like, so many of you are tricked into thinking that friars are super smart because they're lawyers or doctors. Well, if from a certain age that's all they've been doing, they've been studying to be one thing, whereas we are filled with so much useless nonsense.
Let me ask you this. First of all, do you have a murder?
Yeah.
Okay, second one. How many? I would love to see the actual statistics, which we'll never get a chance. There will never be the transparency. How many of the students admitted into law school, medical school, dental school, are of that background and have lesser qualifications, grades, extracurriculars, all that shit, than others that don't have that background, yet we're still admitted above those others.
Or just think about, like, when it's immigrants, and now immigrants have to pass one of those tests. No, they have to pass a test where they have to prove that they know American history and all that shit. How many friars you think could pass that test?
How many had to, or were just fast-tracked through the system?
Well, nowadays,
because of their heritage.
not since September 30th, 2023. There has been the visa waiver program, so they don't even have to do it anymore.
Right. Well, no, they still have to go through correct channels to obtain legal citizenship, formal.
Yeah, but they don't want that.
They don't want that.
Right.
They can come here and work without having to pay for the visa.
They can come here and do whatever they want, and they can leave and do whatever they want. I mean, it's
fucked up.
They're not obligated to us. They don't get taxed like we do. All that other shit.
But the whole point of, you know, you said we assume they're so smart because they're doctors and lawyers. I'd like to know how many of them actually would have been doctors and lawyers had the playing ground
had they
that
had
even
to had they had to do what everybody else has to do.
and qualify the correct way.
Right, for sure. I mean, again, I can't tell you. I haven't experienced it. That's for sure.
Oh, and the only reason I gotta go here in a minute.
Fuck.
It would have been a much. I guarantee you, there would not be as many doctors.
No, absolutely not. And like I say, let's see them. The thing is, I can't think of anyone from that background that I've had any conversations with, especially in recent times, or anyone that's come on here and identified as a friar or anything like that, where I thought, wow, man, this guy is fucking, he's super smart.
I'm sure there were affirmative action policies in place, especially shortly after World War II. They weren't called affirmative action, I'm sure. But I'm sure if you dig, you'll find a form of affirmative action for that group, especially after World War II, which gave them jobs and positions in colleges and universities.
I don't think so. I think stuff like that is like, the best example of that is that interview with Morgan Freeman, right?
Which one?
The 60 Minutes interview where Maury, what's his name, is interviewed. You haven't seen this?
I'm sure I have. I'm just asking.
Right. No, I'm going to show it because it's important. So, Morgan Freeman, 60 Minutes interview with Mike Wallace. So I'm going to show.
Talks about Black History Month.
Yeah, I'm going to show.
Yeah, but
This is only a clip, but this is really, really interesting to watch. So watch how this all works out. You gotta watch how everything works.
History Month, you find ridiculous. Why?
Okay, so just notice the condescending tone that Mike Wallace has from the beginning. Black History Month, you find ridiculous. Why? Watch. It's so insulting.
because people don't understand that answer.
Black History Month, you find ridiculous. Why? You're going to relegate my history to a month? Oh, come on. What do you do?
Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
Which month is White History Month?
Watch.
Well, come on. Tell me. Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, so that is such a huge thing right there, right? He says, you're going to regulate my history to 1 month? Because he goes, oh, come on. He says, that's ridiculous. Why? Because you're going to regulate my history to 1 month? Oh, come on. He says, well, what do you do with yours? And he goes, no, seriously. What do you do? What do you call white history? And he goes, well, I'm Jewish. Because he can't identify as white. He's a fucking reporter here. Right? He's the interviewer. It's not about him. It's supposed to be about the guy that he's interviewing. And for him to make some sort of distinction between white and Jewish, like, he has to make that distinction. He can't just let the interview go as it is and sort of contribute to the interview. He actually makes it better with his own dumbassery without realizing it. But just like, he's stumped. He's Mike Wallace. He's a pro. He's one of the best in the business at interviewing. And he's going, well, I'm Jewish. Watch. I mean, it's so fucking telling to watch these clowns in action.
Oh, come on. What do you do with yours?
1, 2,
Which month is White
3,
History Month?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 seconds later.
Okay. Which month is Jewish History Month? There isn't one. Oh. Why not? Do you want one? No,
he says. Do you see that shit? Which one is Jewish History Month? Well, there isn't one.
Right.
Well, do you want one? He literally goes, no. Says it like, no, like, oh my God, no. People looking into our shit? No, we can't have that. We can't have the Goyim looking in our shit and breaking it down or anything.
I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism? Stop talking about it.
This part, that's where it gets stupid. You can't get rid of it by stopping talking about it. Like, it goes from ha ha to what the fuck are you talking about in 2 seconds. But you see that opening part where the Jewish guy flips the fuck out. Your first comment there on a cohesive and working together is really saying sensitive and sensible contribution, only to fuck it up subsequently. Let's see, what does he say? I would pass, LOL. Jews don't get some kind of easy path, but it's rather we work together and push each other. Of course you get an easy path. What are you talking about? When you can just call Uncle Morty and he can arrange for you to get whatever the fuck opportunity you want, and then whatever that opportunity is, they don't want to upset Uncle Morty, so they're going to give it to you. Are you fucking crazy? We don't have an easy road. The secure community network, which is it works in connection with the JFN, the Jewish something, but the secure community network raises $2 billion annually to distribute amongst Jews. And it's through government grants and shit. It's not because they earn it or they work for it. They're just giving it. With their 18 fucking kids and shit. You're talking about, and again, these are people that are raping children. One of their main rituals is pedophilic at heart. And again, the Bottom of Darkness article really starts breaking down how this abuse is because of the way it plays out. You know, first of all, it's in every sector of Israel, north, south, east, west, from the Hasidiotics to the seculars. Every single cult, every single little faction of it, not only do they have it, but it's the same. All these cults that are like, oh, well, we're different than that version of the cult. We don't like that. We're Ashkenazi. Well, we're Sephardi. Well, blah, blah. All that shit. They have all these different customs and all this different shit. And yet the ritualistic sexual abuse is the same throughout all of their fucking cults. Their different things. All the Hasidiotics, all of them. It's all the same fucking ritual abuse. The rabbi sticking the shofar in the child and all that shit. It's set up by the parents and all the fucking family members are there. Like, this isn't my story. This is Israel Hayom's story. This is the Bottom of Darkness. It's well documented that this ritualistic sexual abuse is everywhere in Israel. And do you see any Jews talking about it? Do you see any Jews mad about it? Demanding that it gets stopped? Do you see any Jews out there demanding that metzitzia be eliminated? No. As a matter of fact, these nutbags attack anyone who does suggest these things. You mean that like I don't work for? Yeah, sure you have. I'm sure you worked really, really hard for everything you have. I'm sure you did. While you're literally living it up in Israel right now, right? Working really hard. And the thing is, too, it's like they all pretend like this shit isn't real. You know, Israel is probably up to about 10 million people at this point. It was 9 million, but I would assume with all of the Aliyah happening, that the numbers have gone up significantly. But they have roughly 10 million people there, and they get $3.8 billion a year, which turns into about 15 billion shekels each year from just the United States alone. Canada gives them $2 billion. Australia gives them a $1.2 billion. Who knows what fucking Germany's on the hook for?
Oh my gosh.
Right.
They'd probably pay them oodles because the whole world would hate them if they didn't.
Right. That's insane.
Imagine all of, it just kills me because because of what we were programmed with and what the German people and kids are still programmed with. Like, they put them through special schooling so that they do not forget. They keep their old history statues, even if they in some people's perspective celebrate death, so that they don't forget and make the same mistakes again.
Hitler statues should be all over Israel.
Imagine they're all over Germany.
No, they're not.
Or not Hitler statues. The remembrances of the Holocaust and what Germany did supposedly. But imagine the horrific legacies these families of Nazi soldiers have lived with, the stigmas and everything, all these decades.
Yeah, I know that personally. No, I know.
Well, no, you don't, because you're not in Germany, so you don't.
Yeah, we had it worse. We had it. Well, I wouldn't say worse, but we had it. Whereas with my family, it was, we are American. We do everything American. We avoid the German history. We avoid talking about it. We avoid looking at it. Don't ask questions.
But falsely. Now that we have learned so much more, to have had to live with that stigma and have it not even be true.
Well, that should wake you up, though, to the idea that how do you know any of the rest of it's true?
It's just so sad to think that we've done that to people. We create these prejudices based on
we don't do any of it.
Stories we're told.
See, this is the thing. I told Ange this yesterday. Maybe it was today, but she said something about how she doesn't like how we're perceived because we just bombed this or we just did this strike. And I said, well, first and foremost, you have to stop saying we, because we didn't do shit. We had nothing to do with it. If we had any say in the matter, it wouldn't be happening. They are doing that. We are not some unified America. Don't lump us in with the bad guys. And you could say, oh, well, you do that with the friars. Yeah, well, the friars all protect the friars. I'm not sitting here saying America's the best, this, that, and the other. I think we're pretty fucked up, but I also think it's all bullshit. It's all, it's all manufactured fuckery. Because at the top, they all hang out. They all go to fucking Bilderberg meetings. They all go, people talk about Bohemian Grove all the time, but people forget about Bilderberg. Do you guys know that during the presidential race between Obama and Clinton, that they both disappeared? They were both scheduled to go to one place, and then suddenly, according to tracking, the plane veers off and goes to the Bilderberg conference instead. And then they're not really heard of for another 24 hours or so. And then after that, they jump back in and they're right back in the campaign trail. That shit happened. It was well documented. I don't know how easy it'd be to find it nowadays. Like, none of this shit is new. None of this shit is fake. None of this shit is, you don't need to exaggerate. You don't need to take it into silliness like Satan, satanic rituals and the devil this, and that shit is all part of the ruse. It's the part of the ruse that you guys need to pay attention to. It's no, that's not it. I was going to say I got invited to a Bilderberg love conference thing this morning. Did you? That sounds like fun. And you can still see the eagle's presence where it was hung and had been removed in the stands, and the youngsters at night either. I've stood at the Nuremberg rallies. Not a nice air at all. I mean, it's all bullshit. It really is bullshit. And believe me, it's weird for me to say it. Right? It's weird to be in this space where, the thing that keeps me sane, because like I'm like your, the old crazy guy who started saying this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 blah. And then you get labeled as crazy. But see, for me, you know, one of the main reasons why I use their explanation, I don't go with any conspiracy shit, is because of that. Like, if you have a question or a problem with anything I say, I'm going to go, okay, well, here is an official document. Here's an official something that's going to show you that what I'm saying is true. How do you see it? If you see it differently, by all means, please explain to me what it is. Because for me, it all seems really, really easy and obvious. It's why they keep this shit away from everybody. It's why every year 9/11 goes by and nobody really talks about it. When I was growing up, every year, December 7th, and leading up to we would be talking about Pearl Harbor. Do you remember all the Pearl Harbor shit you used to get put through? You would hear about it every year, and we'd have a remembrance of it, and Pearl Harbor was this big thing.
I remember though, see, the problem with all of that is the way that they taught us was never in a relatable, realistic way. And the reason they couldn't do that is because it's all bullshit. Because once they really tried, instead of just throwing facts and dates and like stuff that we couldn't even fathom at us, bombarding us with all of that, if they actually tried to make it real and relatable to the kids they're trying to teach it to, they would stumble on all of their own details. The lies would get exposed, so they couldn't do that.
And I mean, I don't, that school isn't about teaching you that. School is about teaching you to take in the information, regurgitate it, and keep your fucking mouth shut.
Well,
you're supposed to be a good worker. School is teaching you to work.
The emotional disconnect there too.
For sure.
It's hard to be. Yet when they talked about the Holocaust.
Oh man.
Then they did go into detail about the atrocities.
Well, kinda.
What supposedly happened?
They
killed people. They killed people. The death camps. The death camp.
They would make lampshades out of their skin, and you would get those kinds of things.
Right,
but as far as like
stuff kids can visualize.
Right. As far as the telemetry data, how things went about, you got shut down.
Right.
But no, you're supposed to hear about the scary bad shit.
Pearl Harbor, we didn't hear. The most we heard were Japanese detainment camps.
No, you didn't hear about the camps. That wasn't something you learned about in school. That was something that came out. I remember when that shit came out. I remember when it was like, oh yeah, it was in like 2008 or 9 when people were suddenly like, oh yeah, you remember that they did that? That wasn't something we learned about in school.
I thought I remembered hearing they rounded up the Japanese that were there.
Maybe you heard that enough, but they didn't give you any sort of.
Well, we didn't get. That's my point.
Yeah, you never got any details about
it. The touchy feely, the stuff that would.
Well, it was more. It was presented as
the facts.
It was presented as they rounded them up to catch the spies.
Right.
And then then they'd sort of leave it there. They wouldn't say, turns out there were none. They never caught anybody with that method. It was just a really fucked up thing to do. But, who's to say it wasn't a social experiment? Who's to say there wasn't more to it? They weren't learning. We always have to remember, these friars are in for the long haul. Right? These friars, their lives are good enough that the goal doesn't have to be reached in their lifetime. As long as things keep going towards the goal, then that's all that matters. And in that time, they're going to have the life they want to live. They're gonna have their fucking 18 kids, and all of it's paid for, and they go to school all day. They go to yeshiva all day, every day, learning about how dumb do you have to be to only learn one thing for decades? You should have that shit completely memorized by that point. You're spending 8, 10, 12 hours a day. You're a fucking moron, right? Look at the dumb friar thinking he has something. Duh! It was known about in the 50s. Yeah, it was. It was definitely known about. But it wasn't something that was commonplace knowledge by people. It suddenly came out. I think there was a what's his name? Ken Burns documentary that came out about it, PBS. But as far as it being taught in school, it was taught in school about as much as the Zionist federations were taught in school. About the swimming pools and the soccer clubs and the theater groups and all that shit for the camps, the concentration camps. You didn't hear about that shit. You never heard about the Havara Agreement in school. Nobody learned about the Havara Agreement in school. Your woman is smarter than you. Yeah, in some cases, for sure.
When it comes to this shit, he's done so much research and so much more than I have. Hours and hours more than I have.
Best part is we're both a lot smarter than you. Like a lot. Your desperation, your desperate need to like, oh, I scored. I never said it was unknown. Yeah, nobody knew about it. Yeah, no, that wasn't the case. But see, I'm going to elaborate on the point just to prove how stupid you are, because you're not going to say anything. You don't want us talking about the Zionist federations. You don't want us talking about the Zionist Congress. You don't want people talking about the Havara Agreement or the auto emancipation pamphlet. You know, people love to talk about how Israel's first sort of it was in 1916 with the Balfour Declaration. They don't even have the balls to say the Rothschild Declaration. Right? They don't understand the Balfour is just another bullshit character in the mix. But by 1916 they had already done so much. By 1916, they had already been offered a large portion of Uganda. And because it would have required too much work and taking black people as your slaves had started to fall out of favor, they didn't take it. They were offered half of or a large portion of a country and did not take it. Think about how arrogant that is. Think about if they would have just been taken. Okay, fine, we'll take that, and then just sold it out and like made money. They could have done that, but because it would have required too much of them, they were like, nah, we don't need a whole large piece of paradise. Nah. Look at these dumb friars. They got nothing. Come on, tell us about the Havara Agreement. Tell us about proto-Zionism. Tell us about how you guys have been colonizing Palestine this whole fucking time. For those that don't know, the Havara Agreement signed in 1933. I think it was August of 1933. If I'm correct, it's August 25th, but I could be wrong. 1933. It paid for 60,000 German Jews to move, to immigrate, to start colonizing Palestine from 33 to 39. Along with, it was a huge money laundering scheme because they were transferring money, like the people's wealth would get transferred through a bunch of different channels, but then they would end up with a large portion of it and all this other bullshit. It's crazy. What are you even talking about? Oh, I thought you were so fucking smart. Are you saying you don't know about the Havara Agreement? You live on a colonized land. You say it like it's a bad thing. It is. It is. But that's only if you believe the Native American genocide story, which I don't. And now that you just made it make sense. That's the reason why we have the Native American genocide story. So it can always be used against us. You know, oh yeah, well you live on that land. You live on somebody, you're live off of genocide. So why can't we? You see that? That's why they came up with that bullshit narrative. Because I haven't believed the fucking Native American genocide story in years. These are just bullshit narratives that they give us. There's actually pretty significant amount of evidence to show that the whole Native American narrative was created. Propagandist much? What? Like, again, this guy's so fucking dumb. He doesn't know shit. Like, this is just, it's like arguing with a fucking toddler. They're just dumb as shit, right? They don't know anything. Havara Agreement for the stupid asses out there. All right, we'll talk about it real quick. The Havara Agreement, the locked up page. So remember, there is no, anybody can edit that. Nobody can edit this. Havara, or transfer agreement, was an agreement between Nazi Germany and Zionist organizations, signed on August 25th, 1933. I got it right, yay. The agreement was finalized after 3 months of talks by the Zionist Federation of Germany. How many of you heard about the Zionist Federation of Germany when you were learning all about the Holocaust? Oh, the Holocaust. Did you ever hear about the Zionist Federation of Germany? Did you ever hear about the Anglo-Palestine Bank under the directive of the Jewish Agency? Did you ever hear about the Jewish Agency when you were growing up? Huh? Did you? Huh? Did you hear about the Jewish Agency? And the economic authorities of Nazi Germany. It was a major factor in making possible the migration of approximately 60,000 German Jews to Palestine between 1933 and 1939. Look at me lying. Look at me lying. This guy's dumb. He doesn't understand what the locked symbol means. The locked symbol means no one can edit it. Right? That's what you click when you want to edit. So you click on the lock symbol and look, it says, this page is protected to prevent vandalism. There is no one editing this page. But let's just say people were editing the page, right? You would think Wikipedia would have some sort of protections in place, some editors, if you will. Well, let's just see if there's anything about that.
Metzitzia, in conjunction with My Israel, has arranged instruction day for wiki editors. The goal of the day is to teach people how to edit in Wikipedia, which is the #1 source of information today in the world. As a way of example, if someone searches the Gaza flotilla, we want to be there. We want to be the guys who influence what is written there, how it's written, and to ensure that it's balanced and Zionist in nature.
Okay, well, that guy is Naftali Bennett. At the time, he's a future Israeli prime minister. Currently, he's former Israeli prime minister. But he was a high-ranking IDF agent, Israeli soldier, Israeli operative, that just told you that they went to Wikipedia, knowing Wikipedia was already the #1 source of information in the world, but they had to teach the editors how to do their job to ensure that everything that's printed, everything that's on Wikipedia, especially shit that has to do with them, is balanced and not fair to Jews, fair to Israel, but balanced and Zionist in nature. He chose to say Zionist. Right? So Wikipedia might not be 100% true, but it's definitely 100% true that the truth that Israel wants us to know. And I'd love to know what part of this isn't true. So who is editing Wikipedia falsely regarding the Havara agreement? Like, what kind of dumbass crybaby shit is this? No, some Goyim are editing it so it says these things that are bad. Nobody can even edit it. Even if it was an open page where somebody could edit it, do you know how stupid you have to be to think that Wikipedia allows people just to edit willy-nilly? If that was the case, all you'd have to do is go to Wikipedia, click edit, click select all, click delete, and then click save. And you could fuck Wikipedia all up. They have editors because if you do make an edit, it then gets sent to the editors who check to see if what you have to say is balanced and Zionist in nature. If it's not, guess what? The edit doesn't come through. But when you have these friar crybabies pretending like Wikipedia's somehow, I don't know, I don't even understand, like, who is editing the Wikipedia page for the Jewish Agency for Israel? Who's editing that page? What Goyim has access to the page and is editing it in a truthful way, even though it makes Israel sound bad? Like, this argument is just, it's that inbred stupidity. It's the fact that they don't have a real argument. And even though they don't have a real argument, I still engage and embrace what they have to say because there might be other people that are thinking the same thing. Anybody can edit Wikipedia. No, they can't. Why do you think Wikipedia has editors? Right? Just like think about it. And again, that guy, Naftali Bennett, has way more credit and credibility than any dumbass fucking random Israeli profile on here. Telling you, oh no, that's not true. There's no Havara agreement. It's the Havara agreement. There's nothing to even argue there. That's something that actually happened. Yeah, some Goyim just made up the whole Havara agreement, made up the Zionist federations, made up this Jewish agency. It's all just made up, right? Please keep this stupidity going. Let's just see what you have to say. Either not theater, what are you even talking? You are the dumbest of the dumb, man. This friar has already proven to be a liar, has proven to be a pedophile, has proven to be a lot of really fucked up things, and he just can't help but keep going, man. He just loves to show what a dumb piece of shit he is. And I appreciate the fuck out of it. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that these guys are this dumb. That they're so stupid, they keep up this nonsense, thinking that, thinking they're saying something, I guess. I don't even know. Like, I can't imagine that they feel good after these conversations. I can't imagine how they feel accomplished. But it is all about points. And so people do need to understand this. So one of the biggest stories, again, that's not being talked about right now is something called act.il. Here we go. Another one of these pages that cannot be edited, no matter what these crybabies try to tell you. It cannot be edited. Notice how they're addressing Wikipedia hasn't got an agenda. That's the argument that he's making. He's not addressing the actual stuff. This is called ad hominem. It's when they address, little fringe things or personal traits or whatever it is, instead of addressing the point being made. He's tried a couple of different ways now to discredit Wikipedia, the number one source of information in the world. This random fucking admitted friar pedophile profile who's clearly dumb as shit, like really fucking inbred friar stupid, is trying to tell you that Wikipedia isn't a proper source. Right? This fucking guy. The guy that can't actually address anything being said. The guy that can't defend his pedophile cult to save his life, but is consistently telling me I should stop exposing their shit. If what they do is okay, why would he be upset about anybody talking about it? So desperate that he's saying that it's Wikipedia that's now lying. Wikipedia is lying with these historical accounts. Wikipedia is lying about the Havara agreement. Like it's just stupidity. It's incredible stupidity, left and right, and for me, it's expected. Like I would be so much more surprised if one of them came here with something intelligent to say. That would shock the shit out of me. Right? Because they're just so stupid. It's crazy. It really is crazy. All right, so act.il is a social networking service used by supporters of Israel to oppose online, quote, anti-Israel content such as the BDS movement, boycott, divestments, and sanctions. Its activities were referred to as quote, an online propaganda campaign and, quote, a virtual situation room of pro-Israel experts. It's the part where you should pay attention. Act.il directed its users to, quote, missions to like, comment on, and share pro-Israel material on social media. It also asked users to flag, report, and respond to criticisms of Israel. Users were guided how to respond, which might entail writing a reply using the provided talking points. So that's why you get these people that keep saying the same dumb shit over and over and over again, because they don't have anything better. They don't have a better argument. You know, they don't have something that they can say that's going to debunk anything I'm saying. So it's just this same crybaby shit where they're not going to tell you how good Israel is. They're not going to tell you how good their cult is. They're not going to justify metzitzia in any sort of way whatsoever. It's impossible to do. So because of that, they're going to try this kind of dumb shit that it always fails, but yet they're so stupid and inbred, and probably most of them are bots, that there's no way around it for them. That was a bit of a trip, scrolling me through the last year or two, but I got here. Why don't they boot themselves? So Karen, the reason Karen's been so quiet for the last 5-10 minutes is because she couldn't get back to the feed. Imagine how many other people this gets done to, and they don't realize, like, they gotta fight for it. They gotta come back. Think about that. So many people are just random people. They've never experienced this before. Karen's been on this journey with me for years now, so she gets it. She knows the little tricks and shit. But random people, new people, they don't know that. They don't know what they're seeing to be something fucking wildly different. They just go, oh shit, I guess the feed ended. That was weird. They don't bother thinking about, don't take that.
I'll take this one.
No, you take this one.
What?
Because trying to conserve.
Okay, so I'm leaving.
Here, take this one with you. Why is it such a big deal?
Leave the whole one with you. Being nice.
Yeah, you being nice. That's a surprise.
Oh my God.
Your two brain cells must be locked in mortal This guy just thought, I'm going to get him. Instead of acknowledging anything he says, I'm going to say, your last two brain cells must be locked in a mortal combat. Spelled with a K. Didn't, and capitalize the K, but didn't bother to capitalize the M. So he can't say, oh, I was referring to the game. He just spelled it wrong because he's a dumb fucking friar. That's what he could come up with. Huh?
That's the way it's spelled in the game. Right?
Yeah, but the M is capitalized. So if you're saying you're using it from the game, well, you would have to spell both. Yeah. That's how fucking dumb this guy is. Instead of condemning the fact that the cult he belongs to rapes children and molests children and is committing genocide and all these things, he's like, oh yeah, well, your last two brain cells must be locked in a mortal combat. Oy vey. That's the best this piece of shit could come up with. Is anybody surprised? If you've ever had a conversation or a debate with these fucking friars, is it any bit surprising to you that this is how they respond? Oh, now it's back to talk to text fault. Yep, it's talk to text that did it. Yep, talk to text actually did, but it works. Don't act like it doesn't. What the fuck are you talking about? You're saying out of all the shit, talk to text decided to capitalize and misspell combat? Yeah, that sounds believable. Especially from a lying-ass friar. All they do is lie. So are you that surprised? Again, keep playing into it, dumbass. Yeah, combat with a K on talk to text. Don't think so. Right, it's just such a stupid, cowardly thing. Like a real decent person would be like, fuck, man, you got me on that shit. All right, still, you're a dumbass. Like, they would go with that. They would just acknowledge it and move forward. This guy's going to blame the computer now. Oi, the computer. Oi, the computer didn't understand what I was saying. Oi. So fucking dumb, man. They're such cowards. They're just such fucking cowards. And everything they do proves, it validates. You know, it's validation left and right. No Goyim on here is like, wow, these friars sure do make a lot of sense. Wow, these friars sure are being intelligent. Wow, these friars are making good points. So weird, man. I miss Iverson. Yep, that's what it is. Yep, talk to text is doing it. What a fucking clown. What a fucking piece of shit. Typical friar clown. I greatly appreciate you being here to do this. Look we got knocked all the way down to 2 people over this. 2 people, huh? 2 people, 10 likes, 2,500 plus subscribers. Totally makes sense. This is how shit works, right? This is how shit works. This is how you see shit work on anyone else's feed, right? Oh, man. I wish I was wrong, guys. I wish I was fucking wrong about all this. I wish I was just some crazy guy. And I had to, search. And I had to, I'm trying to make my points by using the Bible and jumping from passage to passage just so I can read one little piece, try to, put things together. I wish that was the case. I wish I was struggling like that. But I mean, I as much sense as I make, I then have these admitted friars on here proving everything I'm saying, just proving how fucking stupid they are. Unless you text about the game a lot, and by a lot you mean a lot. It may be in your system spelled like that, so plausible deniability, well done. Yeah, no. No, it's not. It wouldn't do that. It would only do that if you told it to do that. It wouldn't even be that you spelt it that way a lot. You would have to tell it to make that change. But it's cowardly friar tactics. It's what it is. Again, 4 watchers, 11 likes. Come on, guys. What is that? Is that Matt? Is Matt here showing up on break? No, it's too early for Matt. Guys, what are we doing here? If you're watching, like, share, and sub. Look at what they do to me. You're saying this is happening because I'm wrong? How come I'm wrong? So because I'm wrong, I get censored. And yet nobody actually tells me what I'm specifically wrong about. I have the same goddamn fake fucking bullshit friar pages here every day crying about every fucking thing I say, and yet they can't actually tell me what I'm specifically wrong about. I'm willing to be wrong. If you can point me in the direction of a different bad guy, then I'm all about it. I went down the reptilian path at one point because the thing that would stand out to me more than anything was the concept of, like, look at what we do to cows. Look at what we do to pigs and other animals that when they're babies, we think they're cute. But then when they get older, we fucking eat them. And they're disgusting. They're like disgusting fucking creatures. Like, they're gross. Up close, they're all gross and stinky and smelly when they're adults. But we eat them, and we eat their bodies. We break their bones down for products. We skin them, and we wear their skin as clothing or as couches or shoes or whatever. Like we look at cows like they're completely disposable. They're products. And we do that because they are a lower life form to us. That's how we see them. We see them as, you are the lower life form. And it's when I look at, like, Trump, remember when Trump fired like 60 missiles into a civilian area in response to a fake fucking attack? Remember that shit? And then the soldiers got the PTSD and all that shit. Then you had the editor of the Jerusalem Post was the special guest on the 700 Club. And this is one of these sort of breakthrough moments for me when I'm watching this episode, and this piece of shit is saying that the attack that happened on the American military base wasn't the only attack. There was attacks over in Israel too that nobody talked about. Nobody reported it. You know how when Israel's attacked, they do everything they can to prevent people from talking about it. They don't cry about every single little hangnail they have. They didn't literally try to justify the stuff that happened after October 7th by saying, well, there was a lady that fell down running to a bomb shelter and hurt her knee. And there was another lady that had a panic attack. So yeah, they might be dying, but we have casualties and injuries too. These people are the fucking worst, right? They are the absolute worst. I forgot what I was talking about. I know the Cavaliers see, not the same. Not everybody has the same vote. Yeah, shut up, you dumbass. It's regardless. No, it's not. It's just not that. It's not about capitalism. The people that are talking about follow the money, they're just dumb. If you print the money, you don't care about the money. The money is not for them to have it. That's the biggest illusion, right? The money is not about them having it. It's about us not having it. It's the ultimate carrot on the stick. No matter how much money you get, it's never enough, because as soon as you bring in more money, you change your situation, so your situation costs you more. You know, you're still living at the same spot. You don't have any fucking savings or anything like that, because you can't. It's impossible. Phone is now on the last at least 2 minutes delay compared to the TV. Interesting, huh? Interesting. I mean, look at these dumb friars. Look at how stupid they are, man. There is no denial of anything I'm saying. There is no explanation. There is no, I'm just right, and they don't like it. And the last thing they want is not just someone like me, but me getting any sort of platform. They don't care if an Ian Carroll has a platform, because Ian Carroll tells you to believe in Jesus. Stu Peters tells you to believe in Jesus. Nick Fuentes definitely tells you to believe in Jesus. Somehow all of these really incredibly smart truthers stop when it comes to Christianity. And Christianity is like the ultimate weapon. Like, that's the thing. It's not like it's a secondary thing. Christianity is the main source of protection these pieces of shit have. Because they've tricked Christians into believing that the people that killed their Jesus, the people that were the main bad guys in the Bible, because Satan barely even shows up, the main bad guys of the Bible are somehow your Christian gods. The people that killed his only son are his favorite chosen people, its favorite chosen people. Not the Christians, the completely different religion. Like, it's such a goddamn joke. It's such a weird aspect of things. And you try to talk about this with random Christians, with family Christians, with friend Christians. You try to talk about this with Christians, and it's just like their brain shuts off, and they get mad, and they start saying all kinds of weird shit, and it's the strangest thing. Especially because you're like, look, I'm trying to help you. Like, I'm on your side. You understand you've been manipulated into believing some insanity just so a group of fucking disgusting pieces of shit could remain on top? Do you understand that? It's not real. If you have something that you can present to me that's like that is, without a doubt, it's the real deal. You have a story that there's no other way to explain it other than Jesus. A miracle. You were laying on the train tracks. You were tied to the train tracks. You were watching as the train was slowly coming towards you, or quickly coming towards you. You struggled, but you realized, oh shit, I can't get out of this. Oh well, I'm gonna say my piece with God, and I'm just gonna close my eyes and wait for the hit. And then all of a sudden, the train's going past you, and you're standing off to the side, like, what the fuck just happened? That's a miracle. There's no other way to describe that. God came down and scooped scooped you up. Outside of that, you just got nothing. You got nothing. Good gravy. The fuck is wrong with that girl's face? Guys, at the end of the day, we're the good guys. These are the bad guys, man. If they weren't the bad guys, they wouldn't need to do what they do. You don't have to force your shit on people if you're the good guys. You don't have to attack people and condemn people. Like I say, dude, it's coming out more and more that ICE is the IDF. I don't know how much more of it you have to see before you understand that's what it is. We're like I don't even know what to say. Like, get Trump out of office, but then Vance gets in office. Like, it's all just bullshit. The entire government is the sham. All of those guys knew what all of those guys were doing. Those that didn't happen to be mentioned in something are just going, glad fucking that happened. They're all pieces of shit. They all know what's going on. There's no secrets. And the whole APAC thing and there's so many of us out here saying this shit. How come if it's true, if it's real, if it's good, they don't just randomly pick someone they don't pick me. Again, me, because I'm pretty good at this. How come they don't pick one of us and bring us on and say, all right, here, what do you have to, what's your thing? What do you have to say? What do you have to say, right? Dumbass tried to feed a raccoon. God damn, that's crazy. Huh? That was fucking nuts. I agree with half of what you're saying. Take care. Go fuck yourself, you piece of shit fryer. All of you fryers need to be eliminated. You need to be given the choice. Are you going to continue to believe in your supremacist pedophile bullshit? Or are you willing to say, hey man, we're all here together, let's make this the best world possible? Until that happens, you gotta go. You're not welcome here. We need to eliminate this cancer. It is. I've been trying to tell you guys for years that they've been buying up large areas of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, all these areas out away from the public spotlight, public scrutiny. And they've been basically making settlements. They've been buying up these huge plots of land, tons of acreage, and then they just bring their people in. And they all right, here we go. We're going to build up some homes and we're just going to slowly but surely make this shit what we want it to be. You guys, if you haven't seen Tyler Oliveira's fucking video by now, you're doing yourself a tremendous disservice. Tyler Oliveira, he exposed the shit. Whether he's doing his job and he's providing the flex that they're looking for, or, he's just a little mistaken. He's done some really good shit, but there's negatives associated. The reality is, how many different times, when are people going to realize the whole anti-Semitism thing? That's such a huge thing. You have to understand how that word has been weaponized. And instead of hiding from it, embrace it and destroy its power. Take back its power, really. It's Tyler Oliveira did a great job, but There were times where he could have done better for sure. Like when he had that one piece of shit in there, the mayor or whatever it was, and he was, you know, the things that man was getting away with saying, just fucking nuts. Just nuts. Like, how is he allowed to say these ridiculous things? And you just let it happen. There was something else, I can't remember what it was. But you know, he gave in. That has to be my cat's brother or sister, and I bet my cat is fucking, they miss each other. I hate that shit. I wonder if that's what's happening with the real estate lots down here where you run down. Oh, it's having internet. What's up, Matt? I was just talking about how you should be here any minute now. That's funny. So what in Detroit here? It was 2009 or 8. And we were in a meeting with this guy who was a Freemason, a really, you know, he was a black Freemason, but like he was sort of secretive about it, but he was higher than the 3rd level. And we were talking about it, and he was saying, you know, well, the plan for Detroit that I've heard was to make everything so shitty that everybody left. And once everybody left, the prices all fall, and then they buy up all the land, and they start over. And I've shown you guys repeatedly driving through areas of Detroit where there's literally no houses left. They've knocked everything down. Looking back on this, on what that dude said here now, 15, 20 years later almost, it absolutely fits. That's absolutely what happened. They came in and just bought everything up. And, you know, and they got it all pennies on the dollar. Like here in Detroit it wasn't even during 2009. It was after that. It was like 13, 14, like you could get houses in Detroit for like $1. You know, they'd be selling for $1. They'd be a piece of shit house, and you basically have to pay to knock it down and dispose of everything. But then you would have this plot of land. And a lot of times they weren't even completely shit houses. Like if you wanted to, you could put a little money in and make it a livable space. The shit's wild, man. It's all manufactured. And, you know, Epstein should be a real, like, eye-opener, but don't get stuck on it because it's just a distraction. You know, Epstein, Trump, all that shit, it's just a distraction. You know, it has the potential to be, you know, the trigger necessary to blow the whole thing up, but it just, people are so, like, you know how, again, I'm telling you guys for years the LeBron James theory, where if I get a call today that says, hey, you're going to play LeBron James tomorrow, and every basket you make, you get $10 million, charity gets $10 million, you know, every basket you make, we punch his wife in the face. This is going to be filmed, and it's going to be the only thing shown on TV, on any TV station for the 24 hours a day for the next 2 weeks on every single TV station. This is going to be the only thing people are able to watch is this game. So you better make a showing of it. When I go play LeBron James tomorrow, I'm not going to make a single basket. I'm going to be winded and look foolish after 5 minutes. It's just going to be a huge embarrassment, and it's going to show that when the Goyim step up to the king, we get destroyed. But if I got that same phone call, but they said now in 3 months, in 6 months, you're going to play LeBron James, you get to bring 2 other people with you, and all the other things apply. Well, now for the next 6 months, the 3 of us have motivation. We are on the days where we don't feel like practicing, there's going to be another one there to be like, let's go, let's practice. We're going to put together plays. We're going to get ourselves in great shape. We're going to be prepared for the opportunity we're given. And when we play, we're going to get our asses kicked. But we're still going to be able to make baskets. It's not going to be the bloodbath that it would have been, in the other situation. We probably lose. If we play 10 games, we probably lose 7 of them. But the more we play, the more opportunities we have, the more likely we are to win. And as we play, as we learn his tendencies, and we are going to figure out ways to win. And that's just a reality that is, impossible to avoid, impossible to ignore. Right? If given the opportunity, we are going to excel. And the thing is, in the first scenario, if it's the only thing that's on TV, man, I'm going to be so embarrassed. I'm going to hide out. I'm never going to touch a basketball again. Everybody's going to be like, nah, we saw it, you had a chance to make money for you and for charity, and you blew it, asshole. Like, it's going to be a shit show. But if it's the other way around, and they see what happens when it's 6 months later, that's going to inspire people all over the place. People are going to say, wait, if those guys could do it, I could do it. This is going to, it would have a completely different effect on things across the board. And we've sort of had this happen now with the Epstein files, right? We have this opportunity to actually, catch the bad guys up in their obvious shit. But because we haven't been preparing, because we haven't been working out plays, we haven't gotten ourselves in shape, we're still just this fractured, this fractured island, a world of islands. Instead of us working together and coming up with, hey, what are we going to do when these files drop? How are we going to organize and demand this and protest that, or whatever we need to do? They have you fighting because, those 2 guys seem to like each other and they look a lot happier than you are in your piece of shit marriage. Or alone because you're a weirdo. You're an incel. You're a piece of shit incel. Some of those spots near you are prime real estate situations. I mean, who knows? That's the other part of this. Is like I keep saying, there's almost like two schools of thought, two elements to this that are super important. And you're either someone who has started to question the old world, Tartaria, whatever you want to call it, narrative, or you haven't. And if you haven't started to look into that, then there's a huge piece that you're missing. There's a huge argument that's being missed here. And that is, when it comes to real estate and all that shit, what's underneath? As they're buying all this shit up and they're tombstoning it. They're, you know, knocking it down, and nothing's being rebuilt. Is there something underneath? You know, is there, you know, what about all the tunnels? What about all the bases? What about the admitted shit? You know, here in Michigan, we're supposed to be, you know, the Detroit area, and like all of the thumb, basically, is this huge salt city underneath the ground, some 1,500 feet down or some shit. And it's been that way since the late 1800s. Somehow they were able to build all this shit. Like, it's all just so fucking stupid. But, you know, they tried to distract us. Either they tried to distract us with it and it didn't work, or I know when Israel was doing one of their attacks, it was a big attack. Suddenly it comes out that, oh, by the way, ground penetrating radar has shown that underneath the pyramids, there's some fucking big old long shafts. Clearly man-made, you know, not natural formations are underneath the pyramids, and they go down hundreds, thousands of feet. And there's clearly something else going on here. Like, what the fuck? And instead of it being this thing, I mean, I don't know. Like, again, I think it feels like they were trying to distract us from what Israel was doing. Or maybe it was the other way. Maybe Israel was the distraction from that shit. But why would they have let it? But the one thing that you can find, like the official sort of news report on it, they interview this Jewish woman who doesn't know shit about what the narrative is. That's actually making a woman an amount of human. Yeah, let's listen to this piece of shit. Oh wait, you know what? Let me just read one more part about this. Back to act.il. Remember, they provide the provided talking points. By completing missions, users earned points, unlocked badges, and had their scores displayed on leaderboards. They earn points for what they do on here, and it unlocks badges, which means prizes. They get prizes. They've turned trolling into some sort of weird-ass video game where it actually works out. The app would assign users to, quote, missions to challenge social media posts it considered to be critical of Israel or in favor of the BDS movement. Think about that shit, man. These people are here because they were assigned to be here. They did not stumble across my feed. It was a private joint project between private Israeli University, IDC Herzliya, and U.S.-based Israeli-American Council. The Maccabee Task Force, one of Sheldon Adelson's foundations, is a major funder of act.il. Collegial relationship with the Israeli intelligence community. It had a close relationship with Israel's Ministry of Strategic Affairs. According to Mendoweiss, an email sent in March of 2022, to the app's users announced that the app would be shut down, but that the users should continue to interact with the app until on its other social media platforms. Now there's the new end paragraph says the app was relaunched in early of 2026 under the name Rise app, with the former act.il owners partnering with Reichman University for the release and also transferring the former act.il user base, 40,000 user base, to the new service. This is such a dangerous thing. And I just don't think people understand what we're up against here. They are way more, it's a well-oiled machine. The Secure Community Network connects 90% of American friars. 90% of them are connected by this one fucking thing. Right? Like, it's shocking that people don't understand this. So, you got to see this dumb Jewish broad talk about this. Pillars underneath the pyramid. There it is. Where is the... There it is. So here is I-24 News. I-24 News.
Wait, how do you have another
EN.
package?
I don't know what this is, but 11 months ago has almost 400,000
headlines around the world. An unprecedented, albeit controversial, new discovery is shedding light on a mystery that dates.
So this is going to show you a lot of shit, right? This is actually really interesting. This is one of these things where you don't see it all in the first go, but watch.
Millennia, many millennia. Italian and Scottish researchers, mainly from the University of Pisa, conducted advanced high-frequency radar mapping under Egypt's famous pyramids. They claim to have discovered wells, caverns, and shafts that are more than 2,000 feet underground. If accurate, it changes the face of history as we know it. Here to talk more about it is Dr. Galit Ben Tovel, an Egyptologist.
Galit Ben Tovel.
The Messiah Code. Hi, Galit. Hi,
Galit.
Great to be here. So this
He's
is very
great to
exciting.
be
We've done a lot
here.
of stories in the past, about Egypt, but this is something that you couldn't really make up.
Look at them fake their way through this.
It's an interesting scientific study.
Listen how dumb this broad is.
So explain what they discovered and why it's controversial.
Okay. So what they discovered, basically, they sent some pictures coming from the satellite from space, looking at the surface underground, the main pyramid of Giza, the pyramid of the king, the pharaoh Khufu. Now, we know back till now that this pyramid, okay, was dated to 2600 BC.
Oh, yeah?
And what the archaeologists wanted to discover is we have something beneath the soil, beneath the ground of this pyramid. So with a technology that I cannot explain because I'm not specializing in this kind of technology.
With a technology that she can't explain. Why the fuck is she here then? She's some sort of Egyptologist. Why would we want to hear from an Egyptologist and not the scientists behind this shit? Remember, they are pretending... They're pretending this is the first time they're doing this. They had a dress rehearsal. You just didn't see it. But for some reason, we have to have some goofy Jewish broad come in here and tell us, with the technology that I do not understand because I am not a scientist. Again, why the fuck are you here then?
They managed to get some data from the infrastructure that is beneath the soil pyramid. So with a technology that I cannot explain because I'm not specializing in this kind of technology, they managed to get some data from the infrastructure that is beneath the soil, beneath the ground. And what they discover is, if you want spiral hallways, I don't know how many of them.
You don't know? Okay.
Maybe.
So now she doesn't even know how many of the things they found. She does not know how many of them. Do you not understand how ridiculous this is? That this is the representation? What did you just get this script and get told, "Hey honey, you want to go out and do an interview? You were trying to distract her a little bit. She's so fucking dumb.
To an hypothesis, a thesis that maybe we have there, and cover is, if you want spiral hallways. I don't know how many of them, but that could lead maybe to an hypothesis, a thesis that maybe we have there an ancient technology.
Wow. Well, people have said this for years, that the Egyptians, knew something. I mean, we know that the pyramids are said to be aiming toward the Orion belt. So, we know that they have things that predated modern man. So with that,
we know that the ancient Egyptians had things that predate modern man. This broad just said that the ancient Egyptians had things that predate modern man because she's really, really smucking fart, right? Predate modern man. You know that everything predates modern man? Everything? Everything predates modern man? Like, are you fucking stupid? Oh, yeah, she is. My bad.
How did they explain it? Because they've made AI, they've made renderings, and you're seeing cylinders and Q. It looks like a battery or a generator or some kind of, solar energy.
Like an ancient generator. But we have to say that they reconstructed from the data that they collected from the photographs that they had from the satellite from space.
From the satellite
so the
from
reconstruction
space.
with the 3D model, with AI and all the newest technology that we have, it doesn't mean that this is exactly what they saw. It means that the AI, the intelligence, reconstructed, what they think they saw, beneath the soil. But I have to say that the pyramid and the mystery of the pyramid, why they were built, some scholars will say that they were meant to be for tombs, the tombs of the first pharaohs. But many years, I think, for the last years, people are starting to doubt that. Whether it was really the purpose of tomb, or maybe the tomb was maybe a secondary use, or maybe not at all. And why is that? Also because the pyramid themselves, not only because they were pointed to the stars, but they were covered, especially the top part of the pyramid was covered with gold.
Really?
So when we think about the solar energy of today, how we are using the solar energy, to heat and to do many things, it's a whole energy. So
it's a whole energy.
The ancient Egyptian, used the same energy. Now, if we are willing to think that the ancient civilization were not so primitive, and maybe they knew things that we also are discovering them today, and maybe the history is not a linear history, but goes more in how we call it spiral history. So maybe this ancient civilization, whether it was the ancient Egyptian or even a prior civilization to the ancient Egyptian, used the solar energy or a different kind of energy that we are not aware of it today. We have to open this question.
Right. All right, we have...
So wait. So then that eliminates Judaism, right? Like, is she going to say that obviously if they had this ancient technology that doesn't seem to be talked about in any of the scriptures, well then clearly the scriptures are lying and none of that's true, right? She'll say that. Okay, so watch how this whole interview is less than 5 minutes, right? Watch what happens here. So remember, this is a spontaneous interview. So watch what the host says. Almost like she forgot to say something. And then watch what happens. Watch how this sets up so they can make sure that they drive the point home just in case, you wonder who's in charge.
20 seconds, say it quickly, because the meaning of the word pyramid.
Okay, the meaning
of
the word
I'm
pyramid
supposed to say that.
Egyptian means the pillar.
The pillar. Wow. She's saying, wow, she knew that.
The shape of a pyramid, we don't see a pillar. We see a shape of a pyramid. So where is the pillar? So if it was for technology, maybe it was a kind of, if you want, a pillar of light, a pillar of fire, and maybe this is the pillar of fire from the story of Exodus.
Wow.
Oh.
For another day
wait. Watch the little hand signal afterward.
It was a kind of, if you want, a pillar of light, a pillar of fire, and maybe this is the pillar of fire from the story of Exodus.
Wow. Okay, that'll be saved for
another
day to how it's going to explain the story of Exodus. Save it for next time. Thank you very much.
See that? You see how they always bring their shit into it? It's the pillar of fire from the story of Exodus. Because when it comes to the Jewish history, there's really nothing that actually... So anything and everything might just be their thing. Please, hopefully, can this be a thing? Please? Oh my God. How can you see that and be like, I might want to do that shit? That looks like it might be fun.
happens to be a nurse, and she has seen behavior like this before from Flocka users in the emergency room. Fearful her neighbor could crawl through her window, the nurse steps forward to slide it closed. While off camera, her roommate is on the phone with 911. She's like, no bleeding. She just looks like she's on Flocka. Just tell her to come and hang up.
Just tell them to come and hang up. That's the best way to get the cops to your house. I need somebody here right away. Click. I'm at this address. Click. Do you see how dumb they are, man? They tell you do not understand. They're terrible, man. And this is who is controlling things. And it might be the pillar of fire from Exodus. And she's like, oh, I do that. I don't see. I am so aware of like those kind. Like you'll never see me do the hook and horns, rock star symbol thing. You'll never see me do the OK symbol. Because I don't want that to be clipped at some point. Like, look, he was given the symbol. That's how much those symbols, like I can come up with other things to do outside of those symbols to be able to express myself. But she did it. She was like, oh yeah, well, we'll talk about that later. With the poise of a conductor. Exactly. Talking about, we'll get that. We'll talk about this next time. Mary said she was going to be here. Too bad. Isn't it funny how the dumb friar was like, that's not accurate. That's misinformation about the pyramids. Wah, you're wrong. And then I show it and he's like, oh, well, I'm a dumb friar. So, you see it, man? They're so stupid. I mean, I just don't know what else I can show you guys. Oh, you know what? Here, let's do... here you go. Here's the newest reference point. Takes you to the Reichman University startup page. RiseApp leverages the interdisciplinary approach and academic excellence of Reichman University. The university fosters a rich environment for innovation and research, ranking third in the world outside the U.S. for creating, quote, unicorns, whatever the fuck that is supposed to mean. What does creating unicorns mean? Over 30,000 graduates of the international school from over 90 countries with a current student base of 2,800. Over 40,000 global active online user base from former act.il organization. Well, that's fucking weird, don't you think? 40 research institutes and learning centers, including the International Institute for Counterterrorism, the Institute for Policy and Strategy, etc. The Institute for Policy and Strategy. Whose policy and whose strategy? Yep, it's kind of a battle of wits with some unarmed men. Right. Reichman University. I know we're supposed to be talking about kosher. We got off track. I really think kosher is a big deal. I really think we need to look at this for what it is. The Jewish Agency for Israel formerly the Jewish Agency for Palestine, is the largest Jewish nonprofit organization in the world. It was established in 1929 as the operative branch of the World Zionist Organization. You guys heard all about the World Zionist Organization when you were growing up, didn't you? Founded in 1929, tax ID number, who gives a fuck, legal status 501c3, purpose, Jewish identity, headquarters, Jerusalem, chairman of the executive, Doron Almog, chairman of the board of governors, Mark Wilf, director general, Yehuda Seton, deputy chair of the executive, Yaron Shivit. Understand that these are just made-up positions to give these fucking friars a position of power and a big fat paycheck and all that. They don't do shit. They sit around and figure out how they can fuck with people. Revenue, $381,438,000, just like with everything else, in 2016. You'd be amazed how many Jewish organizations you look up that will give you numbers from prior to 2000, like right around, a lot of it's 2016. The furthest you ever get is like 2022, 2020. But they never are like, it's 2026. Why aren't we getting numbers from 2025? Expenses. So they had a revenue of $381 million, but they had expenses of $333,228,000. So that's a $50 million profit. They get a $1,345,000 endowment back in 2016. Again, we don't know what it is today. In 2016, they had 1,140 employees and 25,000 volunteers, again in 2016. This is the Jewish Agency headquarters in Jerusalem. Nothing to see there. As an organization, it encourages immigration of Jews in diaspora to the land of Israel. Jews in diaspora are Jews outside of Israel, and oversees their integration with the state of Israel. So it gets them their free house, it gets them their paycheck, it gets them all of their shit. That's what this agency does. It's pretty fucked up. Since 1948, the Jewish Agency claims to have brought 3 million immigrants to Israel. That is insane. But it's always 3. It's literally always 3. Prior to everything with World War II, the 3 million this, the 3 million that. And then it's 6 million with when it's bad. They double up when it's the bad thing, and they were pushing the 6 million number before that. But 3 million is a very common number for them to claim. Where it offers them transitional housing in absorption centers throughout the country. It offers them free housing. David Ben-Gurion served as the chairman of the executive committee from 1935, and in this capacity, on May 14th, 1948, he proclaimed Israel's independence. Gee, that's really weird. May 15th, 1948 is considered the Nakba, when they attacked. Following which he served as the first Israeli prime minister. In the years preceding the founding of Israel, the Jewish Agency oversaw the establishment of about 1,000 towns and villages in the British Mandate of Palestine. Think about that. What do you think is happening in New Jersey, in Philadelphia, in New York? What do you think is happening? It's the same fucking thing, you guys. And when they come through and they take over the government and they make everything work in their favor, we're fucked. Because they'll be able to suppress and oppress us by saying, well, the law says. The organization serves as the main link between Israel and Jewish communities around the world. By law, the Jewish Agency is a parastatal organization, or a quango, a quasi-autonomous, non-governmental organization. So they have power, but they have no regulation. That's basically what it means. It's an organization to which a government has devolved power, but which is still partly controlled or financed by government bodies. Yeah, they give them power, but they say over what it is. As its original instance, Quango is a hybrid form of an organization with elements of both NGOs and public sector bodies. Although originating in the United States, the term is primarily used in the United Kingdom and to a lesser degree other countries in the core of the Middle Anglosphere. In the UK, Quango is not an official term, and its usage has been described as highly emotive. That's anti-Semitic, with some using it to condemn wasteful bureaucracy and the lack of democratic accountability. It covers different arm's length bodies, including non-departmental public bodies, non-ministerial government agencies, and executive agencies. Canada, UK, Indonesia. Oh, they don't. So it gives you some examples of it, right? In Canada, Saskatchewan, the United Kingdom, the United States, Indonesia. Oh, no Israel. We don't hear about anything Israel. Even when you look at the United States, it doesn't mention anything about Israel. Interesting. Let's see. Shlomo's World. By law, the Jew is a parastatal organization, but does not receive core funding from the Israeli government. Yeah, it gets it from us. The Jewish Agency is funded by the Jewish Federations of North America. That's the thing I was talking about earlier. The Jewish Federations of North America, which, I'm going to just come right back. I'm going to go here real quick and just read you something. The Jewish Federations of North America, formerly the United Jewish Communities, is an American Jewish umbrella organization for the Jewish Federation system, representing over 350 independent Jewish communities across North America that raise and distribute over $2 billion annually, including through planned giving and endowment programs to support social welfare, social services, and education needs. They raise this one organization raises and distributes over $2 billion a year through government bullshit that they distribute to their people. But then they have the audacity to say shit like, it does not receive core funding from the Israeli government. The Jewish Agency is funded by the Jewish Federations of North America, which is funded through taxpayer bullshit. Hey, where are all the friars to tell me what I'm wrong about? Seriously. What the fuck is going on here? Private club, yeah, for sure. But where's all the opposition? I thought I was wrong, guys. Are you saying I'm making this shit up too? Keren Haysad, major Jewish communities and federations, and foundations and donors from Israel and around the world. Oh, that's who funds the Jewish Agency, apparently. What is Keren Haysad? United Israel Appeal. Oh, that's what they call themselves. The foundation is an official fundraising organization for Israel with branches in 45 countries. Its work is carried out in accordance with the Keren HaYesod law. It's got its own law. Passed by the Knesset in January of 1956, granting the organization a unique fundraising corporation of the State of Israel. It's a it's a registered corporation of the state of Israel. One of Israel's 3 national institutions, KH works in coordinates with the government of Israel and the Jewish Agency for Israel to further the national priorities of the state of Israel. Oh yeah, that doesn't look like Nazi propaganda even a little bit. Why would anyone ever suggest that? KH was established at the World Zionist Congress. You know about the World Zionist Congress, right? In London on July 7th through the 24th in 1920 to provide the Zionist movement with resources needed to establish a Jewish homeland in Palestine. Gosh, that's really weird. I thought that the Jewish homeland in Palestine was a result of what the Nazis did. Gosh, that's weird. It almost makes it sound like it was a plan from the beginning. But hey, I'm a conspiracy theorist, you know? It came in response to the Balfour Declaration of 1917, which stated that His Majesty's government views with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people, turning the ages-old dream of the return to the land of Israel into a politically feasible goal. Doesn't that seem strange? I guess not as strange as 3 viewers and 13 likes, right? KH established fundraising organizations around the world. Early leaders include Chaim Watzman, Albert Einstein, and who gives a fuck? Albert Einstein was a leader of this shit. During the 20s, KH began to lay the groundwork for a Jewish national home and helped raise funds to establish the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, Bank Halpilim, and various physical projects. You know, it's really weird. It's almost like, man, it sure is a good thing that the war happened, that the narrative that the World War II and the Holocaust happened, so that they had their excuse, because it really would have seemed like just a violent, vicious takeover had they had not had that little piece that worked to their advantage. Don't you think that's strange? Isn't that conveniently strange? God damn, dude. In 1926, KH relocated its headquarters from London to Jerusalem. With the establishment of the Jewish Agency in 1929, KH became its fundraising arm while continuing its own wide-ranging activities. The effects of the worldwide economic depression of 29 hit KH hard, but after Hitler's rise to power in 33, KH helped to develop the Haifa-based suburbs to provide housing for German Jews fleeing the Nazis. God, doesn't sound like they were affected that poorly, huh? Seems strange. Good thing that Havara Agreement was signed in 1933 with Hitler's rise to power. Man, it's almost like they put in their guy so that they could get the Havara Agreement in place. If I was Trump, I'd be pretty scared. You know, they've painted you into the very Hitler-esque role. They know they can't pull off another fake genocide like they could before. There are too many cameras everywhere nowadays. We're too connected nowadays. So they can't pull off the fake bullshit like they used to. They can still pull off little false flag fake shootings, hostage situations where every single one of them happens to escape, and you know, they can still do that kind of bullshit. But no, making it a believable narrative like they used to be able to. They just don't have. We're too smart. We're too connected. The world is so much smaller than it used to be. I've never actually looked up this before, so this is my first time reading it, so sorry if I'm not entertaining enough. But this is fucking insane to me. Towards this end, the Roscoe Construction Company was established in 1934 and 1936. KH supported the establishment of what would become the Israel Philharmonic Orchestra to provide employment for refugee musicians. Oh, shut the fuck up. Like, that this is what's... I don't understand why anybody hears this and doesn't immediately feel insulted. Like, how dare you think we're this stupid? Your narratives don't even make sense. They sound dumb. All those refugee musicians, well, they're refugees. So they just come to this place where we're making refugees. Like, they're taking over another place where people already lived. And yet they're pretending and painting themselves to be the victims. You know, the thousands of people that they're talking about, the 1,000 towns set up, none of those towns were like empty places. None of those towns were like, oh shit, hey, the Israelis are here. Let's give our land up. Let's give our generational family land to these fucking bloodthirsty savages. Nobody did that. They just came and took it. They don't even have the decency to offer the people money. Hey, you know what? We know it's going to be tough for you, so here, let us give you some money to get the fuck out of here. They don't even do that. They just tell them they have to leave. Get what you can carry and leave. There's a video from like 2 weeks ago where Itmar Ben-Gvir is walking through a place where people live, and they're yelling and they're like, we don't, what the fuck, where are we supposed to go? And he's going, I don't care. Tell them I don't care. Tell them they have 2 hours. They got 2 hours, they got to leave. He's such a monster. Why can't I find this? This guy is such an asshole. He loves to do the thing where he acts like he's a badass, and he goes and he walks through places where people are getting fucked up, but he's surrounded by as much security as you can have, and he just loves to do that. He tried to do that here, but people surrounded him, and we're like, get the fuck out of here. God, I hate this piece of shit. I can't even watch him talk. Like, I don't even want to see him. Ben-Gvir dances at wedding. Burn your village. They're chanting, burn your village. These guys are just the worst. They're the worst fucking people. Why can't I find this video? Ben-Gvir Palestine is doing. Look, he's doing a thing where he's walking through a place. Because he's such a badass. God, I wish I could beat that dude's ass. God, I wish I could fucking... Look at him. What a piece of shit. What a sick piece of shit. What's he pointing out? What's he selecting? Is he selecting a victim so he can make fucking a lampshade out of their skin? Oh, here it is. Here it is. We are demolishing here. I have the documents. This is my house. I don't care. Jews are above the law. We are going to go. No, you are not above the law. You have 2 hours to leave. I demolish. Jewish people are the landlords. We must build. This is not legal. This is Jewish land. I've lived here for 40 years. This is the big, like, it's going too fast. They talk too fast. Give him the notice that he has 2 hours. Why isn't this a bigger video? He's saying, we took Beersheba, we took Tel Aviv. You think we will allow you to stay here? Where am I going to live? I have a family. You are leaving this place in 2 hours or I will arrest you. That's what that's who this piece of shit is. Like, fuck all of you. Fuck you horrible pieces of shit. Fuck you so fucking hard. I just can't even fucking take it, man. Fuck you guys. You guys are the worst pieces of shit ever. Fuck you so much. Man, I can't even keep fucking, I can't keep my head straight on this. With the help of donations from all over the Jewish world, KH established over 900 urban and rural settlements in fucking Palestine, provided housing and jobs for new immigrants. Sure they did. Tons of jobs. By jobs, do they mean killing people? During and after World War II, it launched emergency campaigns, sometimes in partnership with other organizations. Funds were used to help the Allied war effort, and when the concentration camps were liberated, to smuggle survivors into Palestine in defiance of British immigration restrictions. Colonizing. I mean, this is fucking insane. They gave you 1 hour to leave. Many KH leaders were murdered in the Holocaust. Then how did it survive? In March 48, a car bomb was detonated in the courtyard of a building, killing 12, including the director of KH, Leib Yaffe. I bet. I don't believe that shit at all. Like, at this point, I just don't understand how you don't see that it's all bullshit. Well, who cares about Palestine? What kind of piece of shit are you? Oh, yeah, you're a white guy. You got the Texas. You have the Confederate Texas flag flying. So if white children were being killed, you might have a problem with it. If white children were being raped and tortured, then you'd have a problem with it. Maybe, because you're probably a Christian, so actually you probably don't care. As long as it ain't happening to me, I don't give a shit. It's only children. Right? You piece of shit, you're awful. You're just an awful, like, horrible piece of shit. You know the funniest thing is? You ask any white person, like, okay, white people, sit back and think about all of the negative things that have happened to you. Somebody stole from you, somebody beat you up, somebody, crashed into you at their car, whatever. The vast majority of those things, a boss fucking treated you unfairly, a teacher was a piece of shit to you, whatever. You got bullied. It was by white people. White people did it. And yet you want to pretend like it's the random people of color that, well, I wasn't being this like total asshole to this guy. And he didn't let me. He just punched me in the face. What kind of shit is that? He assaulted me. You're just a dumb shit, man. You're just a dumb shit. And that's what happens, right? These white people, they have this tribal mentality. Like they don't make up 69% of the United States population. Only 55 if you take the people that have Hispanic in their backgrounds but consider themselves white. 69% of the fucking population. And they act like they're the ones that are in trouble. Oh, we're in trouble. I'm not a Christian at all. I don't believe in the Bible at all. So you're just a dumb racist then. So I notice how I didn't say when I was listing off things, stole your girlfriend. It was probably a person of color that stole your girlfriend. That's probably one of your main reasons. You white guys and your tiny peckers, man, it makes you into fucking crazy ass weirdos. I don't like people of color. It's my country. How come you don't leave the United States and go back to your country? Seems weird to me, right? When you look at who the majority of the pedophiles are, who the vast majority of like the shooters and crazy people are, the people the serial killers, all that shit, that's 99% of the time, that's a white person. White people are by far the worst people in this country. Like openly, majority. The friars are easily the top of the list as far as the control aspect goes, but like the muscle aspect of things is that just the moron, entitled little dick white people. All white people? Did I say all white people, Karen? Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. If I meant all white people, I would have said all white people. But no, just the vast majority. Just the vast majority. You know, I've seen it all firsthand my whole life, numerous times. I am very, very, like, I am completely mistrusting and you know, I know that most white people put into a certain position will be racist. They just have to be put into the right position. You know, you're walking down the street, you see two people fighting. You see two people fight. Whoa. Oh, Jesus. You see down an alleyway, there's two people fighting and they're both yelling for help. One's a black guy, one's a white guy. You know, it's who do you help? That'll tell you who you are. No, you just said white people. I did. And that's what I mean. I'm talking about white people at the moment. There are fucking all sorts of other people who do all kinds of dumb shit. What's been done to black people is awful. Do I mean all black people? No. But black people, yes. Now, when it comes to the friars, I'm talking about all of them. If you're associated with that pedophile cult, if you willingly associate yourself, then I chalk you in, I lump you into the conversation. Well, no, I know you get it, but I'm just there's a lot of people that will do that. A lot of people will get hung up on things like that. And they'll you know, I know you're not, but people do that shit all the time where they pretend like, you know, what did you say? You white people, you said white people. Yeah, exactly. White people are awful. When you look at how this country works, you know, the worst people are the people that seemingly have the most to you know, the best situation. You have these horrible friars who are just awful people. And then you have, you know, your average white, like most of the rich kids that I knew, whose parents were really wealthy, growing up, they were the biggest assholes. It was the poor kids that you wanted to hang out with because they were cool. I mean, you'd want to hang out with the rich kids because they had money and they had houses with pools in them and, you know, they could do all kinds of shit. But they were always douchebags. Look at the coward. Look at the white guy's such a coward, he keeps deleting his comments. He says something all big and bad and then deletes it because he's a fucking coward. Yeah, get me wrong. I was laughing throughout. I didn't know it. Confederate flag was in there. Oh no, he's been here. Now he's saying, I'd love to send your son to Epstein Island. Who the fuck says shit like that? In a joke, as a burn, as a who other than sick fucking pedophiles, who would say something like that at all? Who thinks like that? Who wants any sort of child to come to harm? At the end of the day, all the shit I talk, my number one solution is to protect the Jewish children. And yet you get stupid asses like this that talk about some fucking weird shit. Right? What a disgusting little dick weirdo. Obviously, this guy's dick is tiny. This is what makes him so angry. He's your standard angry white guy because he has the tiny pecker, and girls have laughed at him, or if they haven't laughed, they've been like, no, it was good. If you have to ask her, it wasn't good. This guy's fucking, he's just, this is the kind of shit that, you know, it identifies who they are, right? You know who this is. Oh, look, joined 10 days ago and has no subscribers. Gee, I wonder if he's Israeli. See, he's using the name, you know, Patrick Stanley, because that sounds like a non-friar name. Sounds like an Irish name. Patrick. Right? He's got the profile picture. That's the Confederate flag over Texas. Because they definitely want white and black people fighting each other. And then he goes ahead and says some weird ass pedo shit like that. Who does that sound like to you guys? You know that's fucking great, right? Oh, you're Ashkenazi 100%. Well, is anybody surprised? Is anybody surprised? He'll deny it. But is anybody surprised? They're awful people. What can you say? Have you seen one of them? I mean, there's one. The Rabbi Weiss character pretended to be nice after making a bunch of, like, realized, oh shit, I went too far, and then started trying to be overly nice. Outside of that, show me one of these pieces of shit that is even reasonably, like, a decent person. He's a piece of shit. He's acknowledging that he's a pedo. He's acknowledging that he's a genocidal pedophile. And this is what they do. They make fake profiles so they can try to get their points. They're supposed to be doing, you know, trying to lead in one direction, but because they're so inbred stupid, they get drug out every single time. They end up saying something weird like, hey, I want to send your kid to Epstein Island. Like, that's something only they say, and it outs them every time. And you guys still want to deny it, huh? You still want to think it's something else? After all this time, do you really think it's anyone else? The more they show you how truly inferior they are, the more it should open your eyes to the fact that, hey man, like, we can easily override this piece of shit system. As soon as we just step to them, it's not like they're tough. They're cowards. They'll back down. You know, Ben Gavir thinks he looks like a badass walking around with men. Every single dude is taller than he is. They all have guns. It's a whole troop of them. Nobody thinks you look tough. Everybody thinks you look like a huge pussy doing that. But he's inbred, stupid friar. They don't think like normal people. He thinks he looks like a badass. He's a fucking clown. They think they look cool in their penguin suits. Does anybody look at them and think, man, that guy looks fucking cool? No. They're disgusting. You definitely think they're disgusting if you happen to be within, breathing distance of them. Anybody wants to tell me what I'm wrong about, I'd love to hear it. But notice how the guy that's identifying as a friar, the only thing he said that actually has any sort of merit was when he slipped up and identified himself. Right? Now, anything he says from here on out, you don't know what the fuck he's going to say. It's when they're not paying attention, when they slip up and they say something fucking weird and stupid that nobody else would say. That's when you see the real side of them. And they're just awful pieces of shit. It's what they are. They can't help but be. Look what was done to them as children. It's hard to hate them knowing just how abused they were. And it's like, how do you do that? When somebody has been created to be that kind of psychopath, that the proper emotions that normal human beings have were abused out of them, were raped out of them. From 3 years and 1 day old until they were 13 years old, they were experiencing horrific trauma from all sorts of sources. And you think like this happened to a vast majority of these people. And if it didn't happen to them, they at least took part in it. Or they at the very least they know about it and they have to keep quiet. Think about how many times each one of them have been to a party where they've watched a grown man cut and suck on a baby. That is fucking insane. They go to these parties it's a party. It's a fucking party. Think about how disgusting they have to be. Think about that. And now this guy is sitting here, instead of saying anything that matters, he's just saying words. He's not, he can't defend it. He can't tell you why it's okay. So he's just, his friar arrogance is making him continue talking, not realizing he's lost. It's lost. It's just a profile. That's not a real person. Yep, what am I talking about now? I seriously need help. Even the fucking dumb friar, the other dumb friar on here, is literally saying the same shit. I'm making this up, right? Do we have to go Israel Hayom? Is that what you want there? Pedo Joey? Let's see. Organization serves the mainly By law, owner. 2008, the agency won the Israel Prize for its historical contribution to Israel and the Jewish community worldwide. Established as the Palestinian office of the Zionist organization in 1908, the organization became the Zionist Commission, later the Palestine Zionist Executive, which was designated in 1929 as the Jewish Agency, provided for in the League of Nations Palestine Mandate, and was thus renamed the Jewish Agency for Palestine after the establishment of the state of Israel. It received its current name, the Jewish Agency for Israel. I mean, this is just insane. It's just, there's so much to this. I don't feel like reading it right now, but there is so fucking much of this fake bullshit, and it just, the proof that all of this whole Palestine story is, like, it has nothing to do with World War II like you think it does. World War II was just the excuse. It was just their way of manipulating. It was just their way of gaining sympathy. Oh, you gain sympathy. The Havara Agreement. It was the major factor making it possible the migration of approximately 60,000 German Jews to Palestine between 1933 and 1939. As if Hitler was brought in to make that happen. Very, very strange how that works, right? It's just disgusting, man. Everything they do is just fucking gross. And I'm so glad to see, like, their shit is falling apart. It really is. They're so desperate for their control that they had to reinstate act.il. And you see the evidence of it on this feed. They're so desperate. They're so worried because they know you can't put this toothpaste back in the tube, man. We are never going to be the willing, quiet fucking slaves that they want us, that they demand us through their Semitism. We will never be that again. The toothpaste is out. Anyway, you guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Go get free download, www.the-builderberg.group.com. Oh, you know what? That's maybe what's going on here. Well, 4 likes, 13 viewers. Four viewers, 13 likes. That seems about right. Right? That seems about normal. So, you guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Go watch Hollywoodism. It's the second link provided in the description. It's the most important film ever made, and it tells you why you, as a dumb Goyim American, dumb Goyim around the world, why you think the way you do. Why you believe history is what it is. Why you believe in people like George Washington and Ben Franklin and all of it. Why all the shit I just read you, Wikipedia, why you believe that shit's all true is Hollywoodism. Go watch it. Then go read Israel Hayom. It's the third link. Israel Hayom, Bottom of Darkness. It is the most important article ever written. And it explains to you why they are who they are, right? Why they are the psychopaths that they are. How you can have a people that can just be like, I don't care if your house got bombed. I'm going to live here now. And because their whole thought process is like, I was raped from 3 years and 1 day old to 13 consistently by groups of people and had all sorts of ritualistic shit done to me. Did you? No? Okay, well, yeah, that's why I get $38 billion a year, a portion of that. That's why, I get free housing. That's why I get free education, free this, free that. It's not free. I paid for it. You just don't know how I paid for it. And that explains why you have such a psychotic, horrible organization that is, in the position they're in right now. It's not because they're smarter or better. It's because they're more organized and they're more psychotic. I mean, literally their whole thing, like they all look the same. They've controlled the minds of the children so much that not only do they go through the rape, then they do the rape, but they dress the same. They have the same haircut. They think the same. They've been educated the same. Everything is the same, so they're not even individuals. And you can see it anytime somebody tries to talk to any of them. They they run with their little arms down. It's just fucking insane, man. They are the fucking worst. And I've provided you with a list of receipts to prove it to you. I highly suggest any of you go to any of the links that I've provided in the description and you tell me which things I'm getting wrong. Don't be like this dumb friar who all he's done is prove the point the entire time. Everything that's been said has proven the point. So I thank you, dumb friar. We should have went more into kosher, but understand that kosher has nothing to do with blessings and all that shit. If that's all fake, they know it's all fake. Kosher is about getting rid of the tumors, getting rid of the cancers and all the shit that they end up feeding to us. That's what kosher is about. Keep that in mind. And again, look it up. Try to prove me wrong. You won't actually debate me. Yeah, because what's preventing you from debating anything I've said? How am I not debating you? You're saying dumb shit over and over again. What am I supposed to be debating here? Dumb. Talking about my bris. Metzitzia Pepe. LOL. They should all be scrambled at Planned Parenthood. Can't even spell words on YouTube. You actually won't debate me. What am I not baiting? This is just another one of these dumb friar examples. Thank you for being such a great example of things. But you're a fucking moron, man. He's got Tourette's. Well, we know Tourette's was created by them in the 80s. All that shit is created by them. Tourette's is a result of the wrong blood type getting the fucking, getting the wrong dose. And it's created. These babies don't have Tourette's. They don't come out of the womb with Tourette's. I guarantee they got their fucking shots and then shit started showing up. And they just go, well, it just doesn't show up in babies until a certain age, so blah, blah, blah. Like, that's all they do. But look at the dumb friar providing you with that example. One last example of how this is what they do. They claim they want something. They want the smoke. But they don't want the smoke. They just cry. At any point, this dumbass could have picked anything I've been talking about and said, no, you're wrong about this because of this. And, that he would have gotten attention. It's not like I avoid some sort of anything. Like, look, the only thing that gets avoided is the dumb shit. If you actually said something that mattered, maybe it would get read. But you did get your shit read. Either way, you're a fucking moron, man. And it's that inbred bullshit that, it's obvious. It's obvious what you're doing and what this whole thing is. It's impossible that after all this time saying all the things I say, being as targeted as I am, that none of these fucking idiots can actually come up with a single reasonable argument. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Yo, make fun of my trauma. That means me to believe nobody cares about my suffering, and instead you being kind, you prove the Gentiles are cruel and can't be trusted. Yeah, that's what it is. So now you're acknowledging that you were violated. And I think, didn't I say, you can even rewind it if you need to, but I said it's hard to hate them because they were created to be such pieces of shit. Right? Nobody's making fun of the trauma. As a matter of fact, I'm the only one saying we need to stand up for Jewish children and protect the Jewish children. But nice try, dumbass. You're not good enough at this. I'm telling you, you're just not good enough. That Hebrew school doesn't teach you well enough. I actually try not to be a piece of shit. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't try to be anything other than a piece of shit. You're here to be a piece of shit. At no point in this entire conversation have you said anything negative about pedophilia or Judaism itself. You just keep defending it, which shows you that you're a piece of shit. Yep, you are kind to animals and you have compassion, right? Sure you do. Like, why would anybody believe the guy that said, I want to send your kid to Epstein Island for some Brit Milah? Right? He's such a pacifist. He's such a compassionate human being. Oh, man. Why is everybody so mean to the guy that made Epstein Island jokes? Oh, poor Epstein Island joke guy. 14 fucking likes and 6 viewers. If you're watching, like, share, sub, help out. Look what the fuck they do, man. If I'm wrong, why don't they just tell me what I'm wrong about instead of being stupid and walking themselves into more evidence? Jesus.
Vehicles come barreling down the street, and gunshots echo through the neighborhood as the passengers shoot out of their windows at each other before the two cars collide at full speed.
One dude was hanging out.
This head-on collision could have killed the riders from whiplash alone, but incredibly, some of the passengers are still conscious as they jump out of one of the sedans and take off on foot.
What the fuck?
The neighbor's first instinct is to run outside and help.
You have ring cam and it happens literally right in front of your shit. That is fucking wild. How do you drive towards each other shooting? Boom! Jesus Christ! That's fucking insane. You know that people in Europe have no idea? Like, they don't even understand. They're like, what? That shit happens where you are? Happens all the time. People run from cops, car chases, IDF tactics being used. Like, it's fucking insane. And there's a reason why. It's not like it's a natural instinct to just do that, because it doesn't happen in places like Scotland and Europe and all that shit. Because they don't just run from the cops, because the cops don't just beat the shit out of people and not nearly as openly corrupt. They're still corrupt and shit, but this shit is crazy. Anyway, I gave the fucking dumbass a chance to fucking, to make himself look good. But he can't. So, again, have yourselves a wonderful day. You pedophiles, especially you pedophiles from Texas, you kill yourself.